Okay, we're recording, whatever. Welcome everyone, besties, and intro, and fuck you. Go. Vibecast, we do how we do. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, just mini politics talk.
Yeah, random podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Vibecast, the Vile Chill, and whatever the fuck else we're gonna call this bullshit. Because right now we're just going down a hurdle of fucking garbage and compiling over the week, and a lot of craziness has been going on. I, of course, am Marlon Morgan, aka Marmar Seven, self-proclaimed Beast King of Chicago, and yeah, I'm doing the intro for literally everyone for shits and giggles. Why? Because it is that random of a fucking day.
I mean, it's not the first time dude. I probably have like 4 random Vibecasts, really. So it's par for the course, really.
I think this is the second time I'm doing it at work. I'm not too sure, but
I'm just gonna play Resident Evil while we do this. But yeah,
bro. So let's jump on whatever first subject we want to talk about.
Let's get Dr.Disrespect out the way first, because I don't know.
Okay, Dr.Disrespect apparently not only in that entire situation of him back in 2017. If you guys don't know, Dr.Disrespect was off. He took a little break off of Twitch for a little while because he ended up saying that he was being unfaithful to his wife. So essentially, everyone just, okay, so he cheated on his wife. Fucking asshole! Like, what kind of bullshit is that? That he left for a few months, then came back, and he was like better than ever. Blah blah blah, whatever. So, kind of fast forwarding into the situation that's been going on now. We got some more information by an alleged person who also was a streamer from back in the day, a person that Dr. Disrespect was talking to, which was a trans sex worker, leaked some conversations that him, her, and Dr. Disrespect had back and forth, which is kind of wild to fucking say that, not only was Dr. Disrespect messaging minors, but the person that he cheated on his wife with was a trans sex worker, a male transitioning into female. So basically, no, it's also awkward reading a lot of these messages because it kind of seems like this person did delete a lot of the stuff that was really going on, which I think that would have made more sense if they would have kept some of this shit to actually prove more of it. Because now we're at the standpoint where it's like, look, man, like this is pretty damning, but it doesn't really feel solid.
No, you know what it is? Wait. If they're a trans sex worker, then they have to at least be legal. Then, so the whole thing is about it being a minor, right? At this point, it almost seems like if this is the case, then
no. It's not just a minor. And by the way, I am going to bring that up too because there's something else that ended up getting brought up by somebody who I hate to fucking death, but he's got a fucking point. But the trans sex worker is completely indicative of the actual minor that he was messaging because that apparently was happening all around in the same time. And the really fucked up part about this situation is Twitch didn't make any moves about it till 3 years later. And apparently, according to the people who were leaking all this shit out, according to them, they knew about it as it was going on. So you mean to tell me that you guys waited 3 years for this shit to come out?
Exactly.
Oh no, you guys waited for 3 years to ban Doc, and then waited another 4 years to reveal why the whole situation happened. Like, a lot of this is starting to feel really weird.
Yeah, I mean, the way I've seen Indian people was like Twitch is just a bunch of hypocrites. Always pedo, Twitch is just a piece of shit. That's really what it boils down to, I would say. That's what I said. But there was things always sus about it. But now that everything's kind of out in a sense, like, it all makes sense now. And I'm just saying that, hey, we covered our asses. I doubted it. We knew something, because a lot of the fingers were at Twitch, and we're still right in that sense, right?
I mean, we've been pointing fingers at Twitch for a long time.
Shut up,
I mean,
Honor.
come on, man. You cannot hide all those pedophiles.
You see, look, there. Oh, actually, no, never mind. Carry on.
That's what I was gonna say.
They're not trying to hide pedophiles because literally half their platform is nothing but pedophiles.
And simps.
No. Half of it is pedophiles. The other half is women.
Yeah, and underage kids.
No. They still count as pedophiles.
You know what? He's right. He's right.
Yeah.
Because, dude, their audience is a bunch of kids.
Yeah, if your basic demographic is between 13 to 16 years old, you're a pedophile.
Thank you. Speaking of someone who I don't like the Sneeko jackass, but I was like, you know what? This guy's looks like a weird, ugly bitch that needs to die in a hole, but he was speaking some truth. Like, it's like the same with Pokemon. I bet you if it was Pokemon, and if Doc went with someone that was only 1 second away from being 18, people give him shit, and Pokemon has a bunch of audience. I was like, you know what? He's actually right. He's speaking truth. Actually, this weird, ugly-looking gremlin dude is speaking facts. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I'd honestly beat the living bricks off that piece of shit. But if he said that, yeah, he's
You know, we're
right
on some shit when people that we all don't like and we're like are speaking truth. You know that's when you're fucked, bro. When the losers are speaking truth.
Shout out to the piece of shit known as Killer Keemstar. He didn't get in his ass whooped because I fucking hate his guts. But the fact of the matter is, he did bring up some shit.
We already talked about this on my tier list for controversy tubers. We're not going to discuss it. Go check it out in the link below.
Hey, the Asian guy on Twitter.
Dude, by the way, before we were, I gotta show you guys, I'm gonna post it in the comments below. He explained it about some Asian dude thinking he's getting stalked in Japan, and then he ended up getting actually gang stalked because of just how annoying and he fucking was. And the internet's like, dude, you need to know what it's like to actually get stalked. But I'll put that in the link below as well. So that was a fun video. Have fun. But yeah, is that everything about as far as disrespect? There's more to the story, right? As far as how the
Oh no, there's definitely gonna be more to this story. It does seem like there's a lot more information that still needs to be told. And right now, I'm in the middle of just watching a whole bunch of arguments going on right now on Twitter. So it is what it is with that situation. But so far from where we're at, this trans sex worker came out and said, "Hey, I used to be sexting Doc, and like we used to have like a sexual situation go on. We even met at TwitchCon. There's actually a picture of them at TwitchCon as well. They met up, and I guess after a certain amount of time, Dr. Disrespect completely blocked this person and just stopped talking to them. I'm pretty sure it had to deal with Doc finally coming out and saying like, "Oh, I'm being unfaithful," and of course, you know, since you're being unfaithful and you want to change your ways, you're gonna, you know, completely block the penis vagina thing that you're trying to poke.
Say this much at least, that he gets some points in a sense because at least he's not a trans. Like, I'm right.
He's LGBT plus supported.
Right, exactly.
Hey, you know what? Hey, he's not gonna downfall. He's gonna get an uprise.
See, and Vi will say something like, "Hey, how can you come back from that?" It's like you don't. You're fucked. That's something that you really don't come back from. But here's the keynote: is the first of all, it depends, right? In something in the situation, Doc I think can, because one, I think he has a very loyal fans of. I wouldn't say simps because they're not simps, but like there are people that will take him regardless or some shit, whatever, right? Like it is what it is because of his personality and whatnot. But second, here's the thing: people may not know it. There's a great documentary I watched, by the way. There's a whole thing, are all men pedophiles? It has like a question mark, but it was a really great documentary, by the way. But it is inherent, like, as weird as it is, the real reason the age is 18, and me personally, I disagree with that, is because men mentally mature at 18. Women actually mentally mature and are physically mature at 16, which is a very sus number, and it should be for a reason, because we know that real mental maturity, like, you know, I'm 30, right? Like you can't feel wrong for liking like an age that biologically, like literally, you can't feel guilty. But if anyone, like I said, anyone here, you've seen it, and even people who've dated younger. Like, for me, there's a reason I don't like dating under 21. It's not because, okay, no biological, okay, whatever, right? It's because you just don't vibe, because you're like, no, they still have the mentality of a child, right? That's what it is to me, right? Like yeah, well, they might be, but like, how long have they been mature for? That's not a real adult. It takes experience to be what it is, right? It's a very nuanced conversation, long story short, and there's great shows that actually cover how more complicated this is, right? And at the whole end of the day is like, you know, love doesn't know age kind of shit, but I hate when people use that, and they're like, oh, I want to go after, like, you know, it's like, there's 3 tiers, I call it actual full pedo when you're going after kids, and then like technically a pedo, but like you know, it's like, you know, it's like let's be real. If we look at a dude who's going after like 18-year-olds, you know, barely, like, is it sus? Sure, and you're like in your 30 some shit, but like, is it are we gonna treat a dude who goes after actual fully legal and biologically, you know, females, or someone? Yeah, 12 is nice. It's like, dude, no. Like, there is a clear difference. We can at least agree on that, right? Like, there is a clear difference.
We can all remember that there are actual countries that have no age limit when it comes to this shit. So,
see.
Yeah, that's right. And the next thing you know, it's like a whole list. And then I think like Nigeria is like 12 or something.
And you know what's crazy is,
like
and the thing about and that's the thing, that's why the age of consent is so different, because the reality, the biology doesn't match up with the philosophy, and again, very nuanced topic, but at the end of the day, me personally, I think it should be 21, because like, it is sauce, like, you know what I'm saying, it's like low tier level sauce, if you're like, because we look at a good example, like people look like, it's common, it's common for people to have a 10-year age difference, like that's common, so I was like, okay, whatever, right?
And
but if it's at that point, be 21. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if someone's in their 20s and dating someone, like, kind of, like, you know, say, like, oh, freshman, like, senior, like, is it sus? But, like, is it illegal? Like, we look at it, it's like, okay, it's a bit weird, but it's like, but then if you see them and you're like, you know what? It makes sense. Like good example, Cliff Baczynski. His wife was, like, fucking 19 and he was like 20 some shit. But you saw them and you're like, you know what? This looks like a healthy adult relationship, you know? Like, looking at just the...
To be fair, Cliffy B was like 19 for like 20-something years.
Exactly.
So.
No, it even said it. I have the mentality of someone that's young and everyone's like, you know what? Yeah, and he even looks like he's that age too. And that's the thing too. People are superficial. Like, if you look, let's say someone is 21, they look old as fuck, and then they're dating someone that's like 1 year under them, but they look 16. People are gonna like, people don't realize how, like, you know, just like how, what's the word I'm looking for? Like surface level or fake they are, right?
They look.
Or
Oh hell no!
just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're fake. A lot of people are fake. They don't actually know the real implications. Like, at the end of the day, like, to me, I reserve the term pedo for people who genuinely go, like, actual full children, right? Like, we get it. Like, to me, like actual full teens. Like, if you're like pretty much there, it's like, okay, whatever, right? Like I said, 3 tiers. There's, oh, when you're like, oh, you're basically legal, but it's like, nah, it's still a bit, you know, eh. And then there's like, oh, like not legal, but it's like still not as bad. And then just like full blown child. It's like, dude, no. Like, no. Like, at least one has titties, and you go, all right, fair enough. That's why the term jailbait exists. Bitches that are 16 or 15, but they're stacked like someone that's grown. You know, like, that's why that term exists. And real adult men, they're like, wait, whoa. They ain't gay, right? They're like, oh, no, you have the body of a woman. But they hear the age, and they're like, I'm a head out. That's a responsible man. Their brain is coming before their pee-pee. They're gonna
be like, they're gonna want to know, like, pre-order. Here you go.
You know what I'm saying? Fun fact, did I ever tell you I got hit on by a 16-year-old?
That is a phrase. Oh, my God.
So, see, look at how that could happen. And the funny thing is they thought, I guess, I was in high school. They just threw me off.
As we speak, I'm posting up the picture of the trans sex worker and Dr.Disrespect at TwitchCon in 2017. I'm posting it as we speak.
So yeah, so to give context, like, see, and the other thing is, like, you know, again, love is blind, kind of. I mean, granted, it's not like she loves me or anything. Then when we found out, we both just kind of stared, like, wait, what? Because I thought she was older. I thought she was like 21. I thought I was 17 or 18. I was like, dude, it was funny, but I also, like, in a way, it's kind of a she's legal now, so, and the only reason I know is because she was 16 and like I was 26, so I know we have the same N number. So no one, by the way, I don't know where she is or anything. It's not like I'm stalking her, because first of all, it's weird. And also, she just works. She works at the Pizza Hut. Dude, me and Cockwork, we dubbed her Pizza Hut girl.
The youngest I've ever dated was like 6 years younger than me. I was 26, they were 20. That was the youngest I ever dated.
Damn,
wait, okay, what if I said the youngest I dated was 21? And the thing is, I didn't know she was 21!
I totally understand.
So see, look at how this goes, you guys see. I'll say this much. Like,
okay, hold on. What if I'm like on the receiving end? What if like a junior asked me out when I was a freshman?
See, here's the thing. Again, the hypocrisy. If the guy gets an older girl, that's cool. But if an older guy gets the younger girl, oh, whatever. And again, that dude, that weirdo dude, he's like,
oh no, you want true facts about hypocrisy. If you really look at it, there's a lot of guys who end up having conversations after Doc got exposed. They all came out like, see, that's why I date older women, man. Back when I was like 15 years old, like 40-year-olds. And it's like, bro, you're kind of just telling everyone that you were a victim.
Exactly.
hey, to be fair, it's because I was a...
No, actually, there is a whole thing that it is really bad for young. I've seen a whole thing about it. For even young dudes, everyone thinks it's cool. It's mainly because of society, but in reality, like, no, it's not good for you. Like, it's just not mentally good for you.
I mean, I say to each their own.
And it is a position of power. It's an abuse of power by the older person, both whether male or female. Because think about it, the bitch. Let's be real. Like, and it's a sad truth. The older you get, the less dudes want you, man. You know, you ain't that fertile, as they say. You know.
Okay, hold on. Time out. Who's saying it's the old people?
Dude, first of all, Japan speak of this. Japan speak of this. They're like, oh, you're past 20. Oh, too old. It's like, okay, that's pedo-y to me. But the sad part is, like, most of the world technically thinks like this biologically, so they're not technically wrong.
I had a teacher where she just finished her college degree, so she was like 21 at best, and some bold student straight up smashed her up to 400.
What a chat.
I freaking laughed out loud, dude. I'm like, this dude cannot be for real.
Well, basically, she barely graduated high school. It's like the same.
Dude.
I don't know. Like I said, it's a sort of messy subject, but I think that, like, if you look at it, you can see if it's a position of power or abuse of power or not, right? Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to honestly realize this, really. You know?
I mean, that idea of having a power trip, where, like, not only are you like, you know, somebody senior in a relationship, but like you know more, you know, you're able to be insightful on more things. Like, I can understand that whole dynamic as well. Like, especially like if you're in the shoes of Dr. Disrespect. Think about how many people look up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, when people are constantly going into your DMs all the damn time, talking about how much they love you, how much they revere you, and all this stuff, like it's definitely something that for someone like Dr. Disrespect, it got to his head 100%, and he did take full advantage of that. And that's a very common thing. That's just about as human as you can possibly get. Exactly. So in that aspect, I do understand this whole situation very well. But it's still really jacked up for because it goes on like the realism of the moral standpoint versus like the power end of like, okay, why did you do it? And of course he did say, I admit he was stupid, because he does understand that, it's essentially me being on my power trip, being able to utilize my power to have other people to basically bend to my whim. That's basically it.
And the main thing I was trying to get with that statement is the fact that mainly with women, how it's, because obviously with men it's literal actual power, like, the whole, just look at lions, they go for older instead of young, because power dynamic shit. But for women, it's more so because like I said, they get old, your cooch ain't as valuable, and guess what? You could just get a random horny teen. You're taking advantage that they'll just fuck anything.
Wealthy and useful. Just watch out for the addictions that they try to put you on. They'll try to turn you into whatever.
Did you say the cheeseburger trap?
No. The Kardashian.
Okay.
But regardless, I'll say this much: at least from the situation I've seen, it doesn't seem like a super bad. Like, it seems like not real pedo. I would just consider it sus, but not pedo. That's so. It's like, because when I think pedo, I'm thinking, he's going after legit like 12, 14-year-olds, right? That's what I'm thinking, But if it's like,
but from the sounds of it, it's definitely somebody who's like between like the 17 to like 15 range, like 15 to 17 probably.
Okay,
like most likely around 16 or 17. Because if you think about it, Twitch time is usually around that age group as well.
And again, like the whole thing is like, did he know how much he knows? All these details, right, and shit. But at the end of the day, we ain't defending. You can't stress it enough. We ain't defending shit. But we're at least being. It's someone who adamantly hates fucking pedophiles. That's why I hate smashers. I can at least be like, okay, it's not that bad. Still bad, but not that bad. And again, I like.
With this whole situation, though, I do kind of want to point something out that's been kind of bullshit. The fact that a lot of people are utilizing this situation with Dr. Disrespect into arguing that the people around him are also pedophiles.
Oh yeah. See,
a lot of these people didn't even fucking know. Like Nick Merckx didn't know. Tim the Tatman didn't know. Like people around him that have worked with him, that have been seen hanging out with him. Like if you don't remember, they hang out with the persona. They hang out with Dr. Disrespect.
Exactly.
They don't hang out with person being before. Like.
And it's like I said earlier, remember last podcast, like at the end of the day, we really don't know how these people actually are in their own private lives. That's an entire different story, right? Like it's not the same thing. Right? And we don't really know.
And I can understand a lot of these companies coming and dropping him as well, because it's like, yeah, man, that's not only a bad look, but like morally, of course you're not going to stand by it.
Well, some companies, most companies care about money. The reality is that like, again, you could say it in other countries. Like in Japan, they don't look down on that shit as much. Where someone was actually convicted of being a pedophile. He was the writer for Kenshin or some shit. And they actually, like, they said, we lost a good work. Like, they were actually giving praise and all this shit and still giving them work. Meanwhile, someone who did weed, no, that's bad. So at the end of the day, most of these companies, like, this moral shit, it's like, nah, if it was moral, first of all, you would know the person who's in charge of insert said company because they actually care about keeping in touch with the people. If you don't even know who the person in charge of insert company is, trust me when I say they have absolutely no morals. They don't give a fuck. If it was morally okay to kill everything, rape it, then bro, they would be like, oh no, this is our proud rapist pedophile here. Like that's just actual fact, bro. I'm keeping it above 50 with y'all, bro. These companies have no morals. They just only care about money. Like, make this look bad, get rid of it. Just like, a good example, I'd put Panda under the bus because they put fucking infiltration under the bus. They don't give a shit about morals, because if they did, they'd be like, we apologize to infiltration, he clearly was not in the wrong, so we'll take him back, we apologize. No, they never did any of that shit. They didn't give a fuck. Because morals would dictate you actually,
they take them, they're immediately thinking about how much revenue they're going to lose the moment they take them back. Even though they're in the wrong right now for not taking them, they're more so thinking about their bottom line.
To me, yeah, exactly. And to me, like, see, when I do my company, I'll tell you guys this much. I will back up if I know morally they are good. Like, I don't care how it's like, because at the end of the day, guess what? It's the people. Like, I know people, like, my friend, right, like, good example, my friend who was a big infiltration, guess what? Those people are the ones going to give me money from the game. Like, oh, you know what? I stand by it. Because, you know, no one likes people who are flimsy for their morals. Look how many games, look at us, we're so pro, we're so woke, we stand for minorities. Nobody buys their shit. Meanwhile, one game says, we hate the fucking rainbow flag. They actually, you know what? I'm going to buy your game now. Tell me that. So the reality is by going against the current, you actually end up getting more people because you actually fucking stand for something. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. Like, so for me being like, you know what? This guy might have been accused of this and that, but like, I personally looked into this. He's not guilty. I will stand by him, even though everyone's saying he is. And then guess what? I'll be right? And then if something like, say, if I had Dr.Disrespect, I'd be like, we're gonna hold off. I'm not just gonna immediately, oh, let me throw him under the bus. I'm like, let's wait for things to boil over. And then when things are official, and then I'd be like, okay, it turns out we peacefully. I would literally just be chill, like, because again, in my mind, I'm like, it's not that bad. I'm like, no, he's not a real pedo. I'm not gonna slander him. I'm just gonna terminate a contract. It was nice working with him, because like, oh, just mutual, right? But I'm like, oh, we denounce anything, you know, and I would get rid of all the logos if he was like a full pedophile. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference. There's ways how you handle it. But all companies, there's even a hint that you're ruining their bottom line. Oh, we don't know who they are. Oh, who is this person? You know, they genuinely no fucks given. They don't care. You know.
On top of that, they won't get a pay for leave either.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what's on the contract. Like, no, they'll give them the paid leave. Shit, fuck it. You know, they'll be like, oh, here's the money. Now you can't complain about it.
Oh, but the pay is only gonna be like enough. Like, it's only gonna be like $100, just so we don't get sued.
Right, exactly. But regardless, yeah, that's my whole thoughts on it.
I didn't cost too much money.
I guess he's guilty. I mean, that's all I really. At the end of the day, I don't care that much. It's just like, okay, he's guilty, but it's not as sus as I thought. I mean, the details. I mean, the whole trans thing. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But like I said, he ends up looking more good in my opinion, because again, like, hey, at least he's not a transphobe. Like, am I not wrong?
A lot of this thing really harks on to like, how old are we talking, which is a major question a lot of people are asking. And at first, people are asking, did he know that this person was a minor?
Exactly.
I think little by little, a lot of people are leading to the fact that they do probably believe that he did know.
Right, exactly. And like I said with my story, 16-year-old, oh, you're in high school. Me, oh, you're 21. Oh, we're both very wrong. You know, so to say, oh, that's not real, like, dude. Especially with the younger generation, for some reason, aging like milk. I don't know if you guys have been seeing that trend. And I guess it's true, because I deadass thought this 16-year-old was 20 fucking one. I mean, shit, she dressed like it, fuck. Like, bro, that's wild when me, the older dude, acts and dresses and looks younger than the bitch that's hitting on him. And I got, oh, what was the last sex? She was like 22, 21. I didn't know it. And no, seriously, that threw me off for a loop for both of them. I'm like, wait, you're what now? Well, that's not, oh, they're around my age. No. And I ain't no fucking pedo. We know damn well I ain't no pedo, bro. Like, here's the best way to put it. If I was a pedo, then MJ's a pedo. Like, dude, someone said, here's a great quote. Why I know for sure MJ's not a pedo. Someone said it. It was two things. This Venezuelan that was chilling over with us, like, dude, when someone calls kids like angels, like, how can you say something like, you know, it makes sense. Yeah, and the same how I call them squishies. You really think someone that refers to children as squishies or angels would do anything wrong to them? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you can tell our vocabulary in our mind, it's said as something sacred that you do not salty, you know? And the second thing is, apparently a lot of gang members' kids went over to MJ's place, so if any of them were touched in any weird, no, they would have handled it themselves. And it's like, you know, that's a great way to, yeah, no, for sure. No, dude. Especially when knows anything about criminals, and especially prisons, there is a no-go policy on pedos, dude. Hell no. That's why they're fear jail. They know they're gonna get clapped, dude. Like, they know their ass is cheap, dude. You know? Like, that's just fact. So, yeah.
Unless the gangs are pedos.
Hey, watch yourself. Their members can't be pedos. You're gonna get yourself killed.
But what if the gang leader is the pedo? What do you fucking do then? He's gonna tell you, hey man, I want to groom this kid over here.
Exactly. But you get my point? Like, I don't know what, I mean, you guys got what I was saying, but I got lost. I forgot, but.
You know what's funny? I was playing contact oining.
Oh, I don't even want to.
And there was a little kid in the mic, and I'm like, oh, I'm really scared we're gonna call this motherfucker squishy.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? My whole thing is like, I see. To me, the biggest thing is anyone ever accused me of being a pedo, I would genuinely get mad, pissed, and offended because remember, one, I hate pedos. That's like calling me an Overwatch player. Like, don't you ever call me that shit to my face. And I have, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the best way to put it is, bro, I have been watching kids for literally years. If I was a pedo, I would have been called out years ago, dude. Because people apparently really like me taking care of their kids. Don't look at me.
Man, if he tries to make kids with Yuzu, her career is over.
Like, bro, I'm taking care of this
I just
shit right now.
wanted to make it. I just wanted to make it sound more vicious. Than
You get my point though, right? Like it's
Yeah.
I am foolproof for that kind of bullshit. Like, dude, I literally am. No, dude, I want to be like, dude, if I could be like the the popes or some shit, what they do in Catholic, like, oh, someone's the patron saint of some dude. I want to be the patron saint of squishies. Cause I squish them. Squeeze.
Yeah, I do have something to say. Another update. Apparently, 6 hours ago, it was found that Dr. Disrespect was possibly seen in handcuffs and that walked away.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I just posted it up in the Busty's pod chat.
Oh, capo. Man, shit just keeps coming out, bro. I mean, I'm impressed with the speed of it, if I'm being honest. That's what's impressing me more.
No, I'm honestly like diving as deep as I can with this, just to get it. At this point, I will just wait for the person who's the minor that they're entailing. I'm pretty sure they're gonna probably come out eventually.
All right, BRB, you guys keep going.
But yeah, man, this is kind of crazy. Apparently, Dr. Disrespect in his neighborhood was seen walked out of his house with handcuffs. Apparently, due to the accusations, I'm wondering whether or not it found out the age of the minor that he was messaging and the nature of the messages. Which, even more so, again, like if he's still becoming super guilty than what he actually is, then hey, man, it is what it is. I ended up saying while this shit was dropping that innocent until proven guilty. Like you can't just come out and say somebody is a pedophile until we actually see some hard evidence. And not only did we get any hard evidence, he came out and admitted that he was texting inappropriate messages to a minor. So that's where we're at now. And even more information is starting to come out.
Oh, fuck off.
Look at this photo, and I'm not saying the surgery. The person paid really good for the surgery because
Nah, cancel the animation for him.
But that is scary. That is going to be a scary thing in the next few years.
Oh, fuck off. But yeah, let's keep it a bit short because I don't want to. We already talked about Doctor enough, and I think we covered our bases enough.
Yeah, if there's anything else, I'll just post it up behind the scenes.
I mean, I personally don't care too much because like Dr.Disrespect, whatever, he's saying some stupid shit sometimes. Like I think he's a fun personality, whatever, and he got famous for a reason. But he's kind of a scrub in my opinion. He bitches too much. He reminds me of like a booty water version of Punk. You know what I'm saying? Like here's the biggest thing. Like he's good. He's got skill, but he definitely he's like an LTG if he had a bit more, like he labbed a bit more. Like don't tell me there's not a comparison. Like he bitches way too much and there's no good games to play, and he got ratioed because like, bro, play something else besides shooters, please. Oh, Halo needs a battle royale. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll call you out on your stupid ass.
This might sound shocking to you. This might sound shocking to you. I honestly think with like a week of like labbing, I think he will clap the shit out of LTG. No problem.
Man, yeah, I can see that. It's because, like I said, because he actually labs. That's LTG's biggest weakness. He just doesn't lab.
Because he thinks he's fucking.
No, the thing is, here's the thing about LTG. He is talented. He actually is. Like, I'm not even gonna cap. We'll make this LTG talk. Like, you know why? Because me and him actually are very similar. That's why I like the way he played, and I was a big fan of his for a while. Like, as I see, like, oh, yo, we're very similar. I like the way he thinks. But what separates me and LTG is, one, I was willing to admit my mistakes and grow past them, and lab. He does not. Like, he is skilled. He does have talent. He's not bullshitting. The thing is, he lets it get to him, his ego. He thinks like, oh, just because I'm talented, that means I should like this. Like, no, you gotta go past your ego, because he is like in all honesty, I'll say this much: if LTG put his ego aside and actually sat down and labbed, he would be one of the best fighting game players of all time. Honest to God. So when people, you know what I'm saying, like, just because...
I mean, I feel like you can set that to anyone who's moderately good at gaming. Who is moderately good at fighting games for like within a couple of years.
No, okay, I want to say this much. I've said it before. Talent exists for a reason. Like, there are just people that are better at shit, and you will never touch them. Like, this is an inherent truth. But like, no. You cannot be the Usain Bolt. You do not have the genetics to be Usain Bolt. LTG is talented. He actually fucking is. We clearly see it in his charisma and the way he is. And that's the kind. And trust me, as someone who's actually good at fighting games, there's a certain kind of mentality. Let's not even get into the reaction times, this and that. There's a certain kind of mentality that is required to be good at fucking fighting games. And it's either you are in the peak of dickery or the peak of like Ryu at peace. You cannot be in between. That's what I've seen in my personal experience. I am peak dick. Daigo's like peak dick, but he hides it. Like just that's seriously. Like, in all honesty, you notice it's even scientific. People who are trying to be the most aggressive are the most successful, or the people who are like at peace. They go full Buddha mode, like, oh, I am at peace. That's just honest to God truth. And like I said, LTG, like genetically, monkey wise, he fucking got that shit. But his ego, man, he to me, like, that's the whole thing. And the same with Dr.Disrespect. You know what? That's why people flock to them. Like, other monkeys see the superior alpha monkey. We're like, oh, follow monkey. He's big monkey. You know?
Dude, he's been going more monkey since we watched his monkey videos.
But, like, he is talented, and people who are stupid. This is what I don't like. Even if you don't like someone, you gotta admit that's when I call it a bitch move. Like, if someone's like, you can hate someone as much as you want. See, like, you can admit, like, oh, you know what? He's right. He's got a point. I don't like you, but hey, just because I don't like someone, oh, he said the sky's blue, oh, the sky's green. You know, that's just petty shit. I call that petty shit. So every time I heard anyone from the FGC or non-FGC, oh, LTG's bad. He's got no skill. No, you're just a hater. Like, no, he clearly has talent. You can see it. Even my brother was watching a fight. He doesn't play. Mind you, he doesn't play Street Fighter like that. Even he's like, no, LTG is the better player. He's just lost because he was clearly making sense and letting it get to him. That's 100% what it is a lot of the time. And then when he faced Japanese players, you can see he's clearly underskilled. Like people who are around his level, you can see like, no, he has more talent. You can see his skill, but he's losing because of simple mistakes. Against higher level players, you're just like, oh, he basically, you know, Japanese players don't make him look like he doesn't know what he's doing because in reality, he doesn't. You know, he has a good feel for what fighting games are and a good mentality, honestly. Like, when I heard some of his philosophies, like, no, he's spin. We have the same exact, you know what I'm saying? Me and LTG, I shit you not, we are equal when it comes to our talent. Like, almost near to near. The only difference is I have a fast reaction time than him. That's the only key difference. But guess what? One of us is the best video game players of all time. One of us is not. And it's simply because of ego. I put my ego aside. And I only use it the second I start to fight someone. And then the second that fight ends, the ego leaves. You know, my mentality is, fuck you, I am better than you, and you will ever be. That's no, seriously. Every time I play any fighting game, bro, you don't see it in my face, but in my mind, I like, you know, like from Macho Libre, you guys know the movie? Ramses is #1. You are the best. Like, that is the shit you know. You guys want to know the secret to me? Is I think everyone is trash, and I am better than you. I am just you, Jiro, but in my mind, I'm like, you are pathetic. You are a waste of time. Like, literally, I'm peak dick. I'm telling you what my thoughts are. But you guys see it in my videos, like, look at him, he's a bitch. See, I let the inner dick in me out. That's the pop-offs. You see what I'm thinking. Like, I'm like, oh, you, like, literally, I'm urine, like, you pathetic worm. Like, why do you think I say the lines, too? Because that's what my mind is at that point. But the second I stop fighting, so basically, back to a normal person. Yes, exactly. And that's the kind of mentality you need to have for fighting games. You need to be a dick. You need to think you're #1. There is no... Look at anyone who's a fighter. Look at one of the best boxers of all time, Mike Tyson. That's the mentality he had. And he said it's toxic. And it is. You can't let it consume you. Oh my god, it's a satsu no hado. Oh, and I'm a Buddhist. And like that's why I related to Akuma. Believe it or not, that's why I related to Akuma. I literally had to, like, the LTG didn't beat his satsu no hado. I did. I'm at peace with it. I'm Ryu. I got Denshin Hadouken now. Hadouken. Like, it's legit. Like, bro, I'm not even bullshitting you. I'm telling you on my arc, bro, how if it wasn't for me overcoming it, bro, I'd probably say, oh, Mario, you're stupid. Oh, Mario, you're a bitch. You know, I would just talk shit. You know? Over the smallest, pettiest shit. Because that's what ego does to you.
Ken is best shoto character of all time.
But it's a real thing. Like, it's a real thing. We see, and again, we see movies and novels depict this shit. It's the inner demon. Can you overcome it? It gives you strength, but at what cost? Literally, we see this in media all the time. And I'm telling you my personal experience with it. That's cap. I overcame the demon. I'm still a dick, though. I'm not denying that. Now I embrace it, and I think it's funny. So I'm just a Kuma, but a less dick version.
Step aside, Tokido. We got a new Akuma man called Urian, man.
Dude, actually, my Akuma has been nasty. That's not even cap. My Akuma's been nasty. Yeah, you see my Akuma video? I've been cooking with that motherfucker.
Yeah, I saw it.
Regardless, that's my whole thing about LTG. He is actually skilled. He's his ego literally, and anyone ask anyone who actually does observing, they say the exact same thing I say. They're like, no, he's got props, but his ego literally is his bottleneck. Because anyone's played long enough, and if you've taught, especially if you teach, you can see how the ego. Because then people think, oh man, I should beat this. Like, dude, you're -7. Just don't press anything. You know? And that's LTG's biggest problem. Like, he does, dude, can you believe he doesn't know frame data? And to me, that's like, that they gave it away. Okay, now you're kind of a scrub, bro. Like, how do you not know frame data? Like, that is like the #1 like golden rule to be good at the FGC.
Like, he doesn't know what it is? Or...
No, he knows what it is. He just doesn't like lab it or even bother with it. Which is, again, dumb. Like, that to me gave away, like, okay, this is why you're a scrub, right? He has
you know why I don't study frame data? I just judge it by experience.
And that's retarded, like I said. The biggest thing is, look, if people are consistent. Labbers, and even Daigo. Daigo's he's not a, like he is a lab player for combos. He's not a labber for frame data. And even he's like, yeah, no, you need to know frame data. Oh, shit, I got a double shot. Nice.
No, I was gonna say, like, okay, I lost this game 5 times because I tried to sweep after this medium punch block.
I mean, yeah, some of it.
I'm gonna stop doing that.
Yeah, some of it, again, ego. Like, if you could just put a like, you know what, I'll just block this out. But yeah, you know, Dr. Disrespect, and that's why that's again. So going back to support is Dr. Disrespect definitely has an ego. Like, so big thing is, but I think he's willing to at least put in work to satisfy his ego. LTG is.
He definitely does. But like, kind of veering a little bit away from the Dr. Disrespect conversation, because we were talking about like when it comes to like age.
Oh yeah. Right,
this whole situation now, like, because the more I'm reading about this shit, the more a lot of people are just pointing out, like, yeah, we just need to see the logs. Because he said that there was no sexting or anything with the minor, but the messages did get inappropriate.
Okay.
So then, okay, what does that entail? Like, what do you consider inappropriate? Like, you skull fuck somebody inappropriate, or like, what are we talking here?
Right, exactly.
So,
thank you. I mean, I'm at, like I said, I'm at the point where I don't care that much, and it's like, okay, so he's guilty, but not that guilty. That's really where I'm at now, personally. It's like, okay, whatever.
But yeah, that seems to be the consensus where everyone else is right now, because they just want to know, like, if we get the logs of the actual minor that he was messaging and how the messages went back and forth, we'll have more clarity on the entire situation. We could actually tell ourselves whether or not if he's actually a pedophile.
Right. See, yeah, no. I mean, again, I don't like I mentioned before. I'm clearly not a fan. So if anything, I would have like the most fuck this guy kind of thing. But in reality, it's like, it's whatever. I'm only covering because it's really good YouTube. One of you guys.
Other than that, what other awesome news has been going on in gaming?
Right. Oh, wow. I think you posted a bit, right? Oh, well, we made our new notes thing, so give me a minute. There's some shit I want to talk about. But I mean, anything you want to end off violent, honorable about our barely a pedo, Dr. Disrespect? Just to finish off.
I mean, we got our point across about pedophiles and age of consent being weird.
Right. Thank you. Like I said, just to me, I will judge if you go anyone under 21 and you're like 30. That's just me personally. And look, like, oh, but
okay. How about this? How about like the people who have the philosophy of like, oh yeah, like a 5-year window dating range?
Well, I guess it changed. Look, I feel like the older you get, the less it matters. Like if you're 30 dating someone 80, like fair enough, go for it. I don't care. You're clearly both hella adult.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's just leave the kids alone. Like that dude said, leave the kids alone.
That is very fair.
Let's go to the Nickelodeon thing you brought up. I'm interested about that. They're bothering the kids
again. How they did like a trans song on the Nickelodeon like broadcast,
that's cringe.
Dude, I shit you not. I saw like a side-by-side comparison to that and the last time that they did something like that. It was just the SpongeBob episode of like Patrick motivating SpongeBob to be more masculine. It was so funny.
Oh my god. Well, since we're going on the subject of leave the kids alone,
which they should,
people, if we're gonna sit here and call a spade, just because the spade has rainbows on it, does not make it a good. Like, it's the same shit. It's literally the same shit. The idea is to leave the children alone. If you're making content that is clearly inappropriate for a preschooler, then what are we doing here? Why are we still having this conversation?
How did you not die from the grenade? That is impressive. Yeah, and here's the thing, bro. Some people say, oh, it's not that big. Like, first of all, when it comes to anything sexual or whatever, like, it is inappropriate. And for the most part, and here's the thing, as someone who takes care of kids and knows the mentality and even did psychology, I've said this before, I think gore and stuff is far more damaging than sexual content ever is. Like, you can see it in Japan, like, oh, you see a titty or scantily clad stuff, like, oh, that's whatever, not enough for rated M rating, right? Or even suggesting, and I agree with that sentiment. But that doesn't mean like, oh, let's just show them all this shit. Like, no, because it is still damaging. Because like I said, look at what happens when you show someone, even a dude who's 15, 16, and give him someone older. Like, it's all about moderation, and the parents are the ones in charge, right? To me, it's like, and half the time, dude, this is the way it works, and we can all do it. They find themselves out. It shouldn't be something into like outside of like high school sex ed. They just find their own shit. By the time they're in sex ed, they already know about sex. But sex ed is there to formally inform them and tell them more, so they can practice safe, you know what I'm saying? Because you just do, and part of it's natural. At the end of the day, once you hit puberty, you're like, yo, I want to fuck. You know, like no one's gonna tell you that. You don't have to. And to me, that's why again, leave the kids alone. They're not at that age. And at the end of the day, here's the best way to put it. Someone said like, oh, I told my kids, you know, I have like, yeah, kids. There's nothing wrong with like, but again, that's the parents like, oh, those are two boys. Like, dude, and my kid's like, oh yeah, just like, yeah, some dudes just like other dudes. Like, oh, is it like, and then whatever, like, yeah, that's it. You know, I'm not gonna tell them, oh, be homophobic. This, that. It's as simple. You know, these things is like, oh yeah, some people are just weird and decide to do this and that. Like, oh, and then you fuck off. Then that's it, because that's all kids care about. They're just like, what the? They ask questions all the time. You answer it, they'll move the fuck on and not care. You don't have to make this a whole fucking thing. That's the real problem. Is one, parents are the ones who get to choose. You don't get to choose when they want to learn. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. It's leave the kids alone. the parents are the ones who decide, and it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not that big of a deal to just be like, yes, you know, they understand, like, oh yeah, mom and dad like each other. And even kids grow up, they have 2 dads or some bullshit because get adopted or something. Like, it's not a hard concept for them to understand. And it's simple. Like, oh, you know, just some dudes that like dudes. Fuck it. All right, now move on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh no, their parents are not going to teach them the right way.
See?
We got to show them when they're young.
No. You know what was so out of pocket to be like? No, this is when it is mega out of pocket. Again, like I said, super inappropriate. Oh yeah, let's have a book about like talking about how people fucking shit. Like, no, that's mad out of pocket, bro. I think I seen a video about someone exposing the school. Like, what's this fucking trash doing in the fucking schools? You know? Like,
yeah,
that's 100%.
Showing a titty and then describing how to do a fucking blowjob are 2 completely different things.
Thank you. Yes. That's what it is. Like, dude, here's the thing. Again, I watched kids for years. Nudity is, they do not care, bro. They'll go around with the little peepee little thing, and like, you know, kids are literally a free spirit, free mind. They don't care. But when they start learning, it's not that hard to corrupt them. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they have a bad mindset. And again, titty don't care, right? But then you start telling, oh, now they have these expectations. That's why porn's toxic too, especially to the youth. Like, that's the reason. The reason porn is not allowed for minors is not because of the titties and the fucking. It's because it can give a very bad impression on kids, and kids are fucking impressionable as shit. But again, they don't understand this. Like I said, we have people who don't understand how psychology works, let alone for growing children. And again, I'm someone who again studied psychology and has worked with kids for years, like literally years. So I hate when people bring this excuse, like, I immediately rebuttal, like, oh, kids don't care about nudity. So it's like, yeah, that's when they're like, bebes and like all free spirit and everything. But guess what? When they get older, like, then they start being self-conscious. And that's when you got to start, whoa, let's slowly introduce, or they'll figure things out on their own at their own pace, you know. Good example, kids also get scared. My cousin, he was scared of horror films. Like, Chucky, I didn't care. Everyone's different, right? That's the other thing. You got to treat everything. Same with teaching. I think the teaching is a system. Like, this is the other problem for me, is that they have the priorities fucked up. The school system here is so fucked. First of all, like, oh, the school times are too early for high school students, or oh, too many. All these things there are far more important things you should put in your resources to. But instead, yo, let's talk about something that's immaculately irrelevant and won't help them, and let's spend, you know, a whole month's course. How is me learning about trans or gay people going to help me in life? The reality is, it isn't. Like, as much of a dick sound as it is, you are 1% of the population. There are going to be people who will never run into a gay or trans person in their life ever, and that's okay. That's just the reality of it. It is literally irrelevant information. They're better off learning their taxes, or how to do CPR, or how to do the Heimlich. That is more relevant than any of this. That to me is my bigger piss off. Fuck all this shit. You know, there are things I would rather kids be learning over this shit. Good example. My brother Loki could have almost died because he choked on something. How did he live? Because I know the fucking Heimlich. School never taught me. I taught myself because I understood this is important things to know. How to do CPR, how to do the Heimlich. These are important things. But no. Let's focus on something they will never meet in their fucking life. Some people will never be like, oh, I like it. Again, you'll just know. Like the dude in North Korea, because homosexuality is banned. He came over to the US and then he realized, oh, wait, I'm gay. Like, he didn't know it was a thing. And no one told him about this or anything. He just thought, like, he's like, oh, I had a wife, but I didn't know why I didn't like her. And then he's like, and then he was introduced to the concept of gay. He's like, oh, so I'm gay? Like, bro, again, look at that. This dude has been unexposed to that concept, and he came out fine for literally years. It's banned in this country, and dude basically finds out, wait, I'm gay? That's a thing? You know? There is no doctrine or anything.
That is
fun, legit.
That is quite a discoverment.
Right? Imagine you being gay and not knowing it's a thing, dude. But yeah. So it also comes to prove that some people really are just born gay. Interesting. There's a real case for it. Or who knows, maybe he thought bitches were ugly and he's like, oh, I'm gay because bitches are ugly in Korea or something. I don't know.
Miles was so distraught by that. He left.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Oh, you know what? Since we're on the level of talking about inappropriate shit, I want to bring up Sexy Red because she got brought up again in the conversation. Sexy Red is a rap artist.
Okay, fair enough. Carry on.
Oh, come on.
No, a lot of people are deadass actually waking up to her bullshit now, and I'm glad about it because she is absolutely 100% the worst type of person to be making music.
See, and thank you. See, it goes back. That's why I hate modern media in general. Like, it's again inappropriate. It's a lot of this shit's inappropriate as fuck, bro. It's not even just schools, dude. It's just American media. See, that's why
there's a grown woman who actually went online and actually looked up like who is her actual fan base. She found out it was literally just a bunch of little kids. Children are listening to her music, thinking that it's okay to just open their legs wide open and fuck whoever, and just pop babies. And then on top of that, like, apparently in her song, she's also like shaming women on their hairstyles, and they should have a certain hairstyle.
Oh no!
I didn't even know that.
Really
there's one thing a woman needs is a hair freedom.
Dead ass facts. See, like, and you know, again, look at how this is again. Going to this thing you posted said that kids should not have social media accounts. Dude, I think they shouldn't even be allowed access to the internet because like it's too easy to get access to these things that influence the youth. Like kids should not be influenced with this garbage shit or girls thinking they should grow up to be like, oh, you need to do your hair, you need to do this. Like, no, fuck off. Let them be kids. Literally, leave them the
You shouldn't be introduced to the internet till you're 16. You shouldn't be allowed on social media till you're 18.
Thank you. Like literally, man.
But I feel like cyberbullying will just go back to regular bullying if that ever was like a.
I'm okay with that because at least people don't kill themselves as much.
But we could litigate regular bullying.
Exactly.
Like we're able to regulate that shit.
Regular.
You can.
Good fucking luck with that. They couldn't do it fucking when they introduced it. They're not gonna fucking fix it now.
And again, it's the education system. It's ass.
No.
Part of the problem is because fucking punishment is not allowed anymore. Like beating these kids when they do some stupid shit isn't allowed anymore. That's the real problem.
Which is why we need to bring back punishment.
Yeah, it is literally. And people would so barbaric.
We need to bring it back.
I hate motherfuckers who be saying, "Oh man, beating your kids is," like, no, it's not. Like, bro, I am a grown ass Chad man because my parents beat me. Said some of the greatest Chad men of all time is because they got their ass beat.
You went to the point where you're breaking their bones. There's a difference between breaking your children's bones and in this game. Like when people think, "Oh, you beat your kids," like, "Oh, you purposely beat your kids until you like bruise and break them." Like, no, that's not the point. The point is to discipline them.
Exactly. Thank you. Well, you're a parent. You understand this, so of course you would know. All right.
Yeah.
Like, bro, look, first of all, the best way to put it is like, bro, you shouldn't be scarring your kid. Like there should not be any physical remain. Like, not just because, oh, it looks bad in the police. Like, no. Like, homie, do you know how much of a bitch kids are? You slap them on the wrist, they're already fucking crying.
Yep.
Like the main caveat, like same with it's basically it's punishment. It doesn't have to be physical. It could be even if you're not a fan of hitting, like you have to show like, hey, you can't do that shit. Like, oh, you're grounded or something. Like something that actually means something. And guess what? Most like getting hit. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
You know what's the worst part too? The teenagers like they really do the fuck around and find out in a big way.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that shit's been trending because these parents don't discipline them. They don't discipline them.
Dude, I remember I saw this kid in like this like dude's basketball room in like a college room. He just like took like his like shirt or a hat or something.
Oh, yep.
And he just straight up got fucking clocked.
And you should.
And he says, "Hey, I was holding back. That's why I'm telling you. Don't fuck around, bro. Don't fuck around with me."
And that's why.
And that kid was like, "Yeah."
Yep. And that's
like he was holding back his tears.
See, here's the reason why physical punishment is a necessity, in my opinion. Because guess what? I remember someone said it's like, even if because it is, apparently scientists tried proving, which I think is bullshit, that, oh, it's very physical traumatizing. Like, I mean, yeah, that's the point. And here's the thing. Would you rather your kid get a little slap on the wrist or get his ass beat by Tyrone? You know, you tell me.
Tyrone down the street.
Because your dumbass wanted to fuck with his hat. You know? Like, fuck out.
Hey, I'm Tyrone, and I heard your kid was disrespecting other kids, so I'm gonna go fuck his wife, long dick style.
You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. I hate how people are so detached from reality. It's the same dumb people who says, oh, you don't need to own guns. Like, we don't need it for self-defense. Other countries or whatever. Like, you're an idiot. You don't know reality. The reality
you clearly never grew up in like the most gang-violent area in your neighborhood.
Exactly. Or, again, they don't know the reality of the real world. Like, bro, you know there are entire organizations dedicated to trying to make sure that America comes down, you know, like, especially the Middle East. You think, oh, we don't need guns. Like, bro, want to know half the reason why the U.S. doesn't ever really get invaded? And I could think of the mentality from a fellow foreigner. It's like, do I really want to go to a country where everybody has fucking guns for, like, every block? Yeah, no. Like, that is a really great deterrent, dog. As a Mexican who, our country has booty water self-defense laws.
Of reasons why not to even come over here either.
Like, bro, literally self-defense laws are great and they're common in Europe. Like, as a Latinian, I envy America's fucking gun laws, bro. Like, why do you think we have so many fucking revolutions and this and that? Like, because fucking, again, why are this corrupt? Because we don't got guns. It keeps these fuckers at bay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's kind of like that current meme of like English or Spanish. It's like guns or gang violence.
Yes, literally. And again, and that's why like I hate people that don't understand the real world. Like, you gotta realize you are in a world full of hairless apes that dominate the planet, that are very aggressive, jealous, horny, aggressively fast, and strong, smart monkeys. You have to defend yourself against these monkeys.
7 stupidest sins.
Like, literally, we're just hairless monkeys. Like,
we're not even the 7 deadly sins. We're just the 7 stupidly sins.
No, as a fellow Saiyan myself, I too would like to say that we are some crazy ass monkeys. And
thank you.
Fun fact, one of the main reasons why they really don't want to come over here is because, like, where the fuck do you go if you invade?
Exactly.
But honestly, think about it.
They stopped making bomb shelters, so we're clearly fucked.
Like, I know like 3 hillbillies that could take out an entire army by themselves. That's how much of an arsenal they have.
Exactly. So, and again, because I remember some stupid, dumb white privilege bit. Like, I remember it too. Oh, why do we need a gun? Like, you know, like you could tell, like, you privileged, dumb moron.
Those are the same people that ask the question, well, if scientists are saying we can't go to the sun, why don't we just go to the sun when it turns off?
Yeah,
those are
exactly.
The same people.
Yes, exactly. Shit. Apparently Joe can't fucking dodge to save her life.
Is the LGBT conversation over? Or are we still on?
Very.
No, we were talking about like the school system and a rap artist, and I fell asleep on the rap artist.
I told you guys, man, us See, no, honorable hunters representing the average non-American and light-skinned person. Like, we really don't give a fuck about rap. But anyways, getting back to the actual main topic, as I was saying, is...
I was gonna say, hold on.
You get what I'm saying? They're right on the inside.
Oh, boy.
What was I getting at? I forgot already.
It's about the inside, how much your carcass actually is worth on the black market.
Oh, God. But whatever, you know, Obama and the shit. Speaking of Obama, we'll loop into that again. But yeah, no, guns are great, and I hate pussies. Like, I've said it before, I think the pussification of our society is what led to this downfall. Because we have people who, oh no, don't do this and this and that. Like, bro, you have to be a dick. Like, we are aggressive apes. Who wins the more aggressive ape? Like, fuck me, it's not rocket scientists. Like, holy shit.
I don't think they know what rocket scientists are.
You know what's funny?
Talking
because these are the same dumbasses you hear about. There's a convention. There was a scientist, and he literally was like, oh, talking about physical, biological things, and someone's, oh, well, that might be the case, but it's mean, and he was just so done. It's like, dude, I don't care. I care about facts, baby. Oh, you could tell he was just done with their stupid.
So Kick has come out and said, in fact, I'll say this for later. This is an entirely different conversation. I'll save that for later.
Good.
But I'm gonna say, I have a question for you guys, and I want to see where you guys are at with this.
Yeah, go for it.
How fat are Americans?
Oh, mega fat. Mega fat.
#1 most obese country in the world.
Like, they're fat as shit.
Now, is it because we do not have any self-control, or is it because we're taught to be like that?
I actually have the answer to that. You guys can go. I'll save it for
But
later.
it's actually both. It's like self-control and also just like over the years of fucking laziness and not having a good understanding of nutrition. Like would you, like, let me ask, would you rather spend 10 minutes making a good fucking, like, healthy ass meal, or would you spend a minute in the waiting line for McDonald's?
Let's see.
I tell you, like, 9 out of 10 Americans will fucking pick the latter.
I would even argue as well, the main reason why they are more than willing to go and do that shit is because the matter of convenience. But that has kind of been compromised now over the past few years because a lot of things have been going up in price. Like a regular price fucking Big Mac meal from back in the day now is like $25, and it makes no fucking sense.
Yep.
Dude, I was watching a movie that was made in 2004, and I saw a dude buy, like, a cheeseburger for 25 cents. I'm like, is this the same world?
Right.
Yeah, imagine, we used to be there. It's fucking nuts.
Vile, you got anything to add to this before I give my big revelation why exactly Americans are fat, and it's actually not their fault, to a degree?
It is our fault.
To a degree. Yes, I said degree.
I also have a little bit more to say after Vile.
But this is
carry on. I have to end it off because I got the big stats.
I think it's because we grew up on knowing our portions. You know, we know about the main course, which is, you know, the big piece of, like, chicken. Then you got 2 sides. You got the mac and cheese and the potatoes, and then a dessert. So while in Japan, you get a little rice roll and, like, little thin sliced sides, and then that you're full for the day. So because we train our bodies to eat more than less, and then when you eat less, your body can tell, like, what the hell is this?
Damn, Vile out here with facts. Oh shit, I wasn't ready for that one.
So that's all I got.
That's a pretty good one, actually.
I mean, it is a pretty good fact. Like, when I was in Japan, I like all the, like, sugars and carbohydrates were just in the rice. Everything else was just really good and healthy for you.
Wait, did he just drop some knowledge on us and then leave?
Yeah. So actually what it really is, I'll have to stop playing for this one. So part of it, so here's the thing, it's a lot of it's the money. As we said it before, money runs everything in America, and it's hand in hand with convenience. And the portion sizes, because the Great Depression, this and that. So he covered it. Great, well done. So part of his portion size. But the other fact is, this is why transport is so garbage here, and it's led to the obesity because we used to walk a lot more in a sense, right? But with modern transportation, you have to take a car everywhere. You don't walk, and that's another reason in Japan people are more healthy. Like Japan's a shining example of why people aren't fat there. It's super rare to see fat people. If you walk all the goddamn time and your proportion sizes are fine, that's the thing. And again, the two biggest car companies, we have to push cars. We don't care about people's health because clearly they have the money to have their private gym and everything. And the second thing is the sugar industry. A lot of it is sugar. It's sugar, bad transportation, and convenience. It's these big three. Remember I told you trifecta. So that's why I said partially, because before, why were Americans so much healthier before? And at the end of the day, I learned about sociology is humans in general are just the same. Like if you put Americans now and they were born and raised in Japan, they would be Japanese. Exactly the same per culture. Nothing would change. Everyone's a result of their environment, literally. It's just the shame that American culture was shaped early by a lot of pride and, rebellion and inspired other countries, including my country, right? It's a true fact. And then it boiled over to what it is now, into something that's molded into something that it's not completely, where greed and convenience runs everything. Like people, think about it. People work 9 to 5 jobs. They're unhappy as fuck. But it's just so they can have the conveniences of modern day modernity. Like that's literally it, and that's why people are fat. Their body is the example of the culture. That's really what it is, 100%. And guess what? Americans think that we're the most important things in the world. I don't gotta watch my weight. And then they have companies that feed into that. Here, buy these bag of chips for $1. And then something that's actually healthy, $15. Good filet chicken, everything, whatever. It'll keep you full, everything. But like, no, it's not fucking Chips Ahoy, cookies, Doritos. It's social and biological engineering. In every way. It's the culture of America, and it's the shit they feed you, and the same with the car culture. I'm an American, I have to have a car. That's freedom. Really, it's freedom that you can only go everywhere if you have a car. Whereas in Japan and places like the Netherlands, like you're free to walk wherever you want. You don't need a car.
I have the Metro Pass. I can go everywhere I want.
And even if you want, again, remember, everything's within walking distance. am I hungry? Am I thirsty? There's a 7-Eleven right around the corner. Whereas out here, dude, there is literally nothing for miles. I need a car ride just to get a drink. That's not freedom. Especially like you're paying for the convenience to be in society, but you get none of the benefits if you don't opt in, right? Like if you want to be that fucked, then again, great example. Why do you think people in the South or country are actually more healthy than people not in cities, which is backwards? Because guess what? They do their own food, they do their own farming, they're in charge of their own shit. To the point, like you said, Mar was absolutely correct. Now it's kind of getting turned back because of pricing. Like it's actually just cheaper to not, yeah, it is more effort. But right now we're so broke that it's like, fuck it, I'll put in the... Even me, lately, no, Mar's absolutely right. I've gone more into making my own shit now than actually going out and eating. Because it's just too expensive. So Mar's absolutely correct. It's going in the other way. That's the other reason they're even raising prices. Because these people, our numbers are not going up. Let's charge more for Big Macs because those morons will keep coming. And that's true. Those people are too deep in. They're never going to stop buying that garbage shit because they're literally too lazy. And they do not know how to actually, like basically, as they say in Mexico, bro, if you can marry a bitch, like... You can have a pretty bitch all you want, but if the bitch can't cook and clean, she's useless. That's why a lot of Mexican dudes will have the fat bitch. Like, hey, she can cook, clean, watch the kids. That's all you need in a wife. If they're pretty, that's a bonus. And the reality is, to hold down a family, that is more important. And to me, even as a dude, to me, as a full-grown adult, if you can't cook, you're useless. You're telling me you can't go, okay, let me look at the packaging. Okay, so leave in the microwave for 1 minute and then flip another. All right, cool. Like that's modern cooking. If you can't do that, you low-key suck and you are not an adult. You are a fucking child, bro. You are a man child. We have microwaves. We have, what I'm saying? We have modernity and they don't use it. This is why I can't say, we talked about it, me and Martin, the last time, that we have access to technology and we use it for the stupidest shit. We do not use it to enrich our lives or to acknowledge ourselves or to make it better. We just make it worse. Like the irony. But yeah, that's my whole rant on that, is that a lot of it actually isn't Americans' fault. Except the culture part is like, yeah, no 100% that's on y'all for being lazy. But most of it, believe it or not, even because there are countries that are just as lazy as America, but they're not as fat. Because again, they regulate their sugar way more and they actually walk everywhere, which is a huge thing. People just don't walk enough, and they, again, say Vile knocked it out of the park with the portion size. Americans are all about big everything, whatever, The funny thing is they begin slowly smaller over the years.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. They begin slowly smaller because companies try to cuck you. You guys notice? We're going to charge more for this, but we're also going to give you just a milligram nest, and they keep doing it till you don't even notice. That too, but that's all. I'm done with my conversation with the food.
Well, I was gonna say, like, on top of that too, there's also like how America kind of fucking made a coin system fucking useless, and how digital, and like the digital payment is like their own secret way of like throwing in more subtle charges without you realizing it, because you're not handing it over. It's all in just one transaction. you keep doing that process over and over, you're not realizing how much money you're spending.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean we see the microtransactions.
Microtransaction in real life.
Yeah, because people aren't very good at keeping track of cost over time, but people who are rich, they're absolutely great at that. Like, people don't realize, like, don't get me wrong, we discussed it before, same with YouTube bringing money. Like, a lot of it is just luck. Were you born wealthy? Did you do this? Were you the first one to do the things? Look at PewDiePie. Like, I think PewDiePie is the most mediocre YouTuber of all time. Cool guy, no hate. But he only got there, one, he was born rich. Two, he was one of the first ones to do YouTube. And, you know, he has a good personality. I'm not hating him as a person. I think he's a cool dude. But I don't think he's the greatest content creator of all time. He's gotten better over the years, you know. I ain't a hater. I used to be. I respect him mainly because he treats his fans right, which I can always respect in anybody. But at the end of the day, it's like, he did get lucky for his position.
You know what he didn't do? He didn't fuck his fans.
Oh, that too.
And that's it.
That too. But, I mean, yeah, no, dude, it's just, fuck.
Other than that, some miscellaneous shit, man. Have I heard Bison is out? Is he?
Oh yeah,
yes,
he's out.
I
did a shit ton of videos earlier, so yeah, he's out.
Oh man, I need to know, man. Before I jump on there, man, how good is Bison?
His damage is really stupid for no reason.
He kind of just is it okay? Hold on, I don't know if it's just me. Does he play more like 4 than 5 Bison?
Yeah, everyone's saying that. He has more of a feel like 4 Bison, but they gave him the frame data of Bison 5, which is stupid. So he's looking top tier, low key. But yeah, he's good. But he feels weird. Here's the thing: he feels more stiff than either of them, and his combo execution is kind of tight. It's kind of tight. And, like, here's the best way to put it: his charge timing is whack as fuck, and this is coming from a master rank guile. Like, if you see, I actually drop a lot of my charge combos with fucking Bison for some reason. No idea why.
Dude, when I was doing the combo trials, and like there was like some of them where you had to do like a setup and then it includes a charge time. For whatever reason, I'm doing the same combo like all the way to the end, like 7 times, and it just doesn't fucking come out. Like on the tractor thing, because I just did it too fast.
Yeah, no.
Or
Go watch my
sometimes it just
combo
doesn't
video,
even
guys.
know that I did it. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
If you're struggling with Bison combos, go check out my video up on YouTube, boys.
No, I'm not struggling to do it. It's just not like
not
going through and like the combo.
Well, I'm struggling to do it because I haven't played him yet, so I'm definitely going to check that out before I jump on.
I'll say this much, like,
definitely do combo trials. He's wow.
Like I said, like, it's cool to use. I'll say this much: if you're gonna use them, only use with Psycho Crusher and neutral. Don't try to do it in combos. Like, and again, this is from an experienced master rank guile.
I was just gonna say this comes from a master rank charge player.
That's true as well. I am.
No, but you're just saying guile.
Well, yeah, because Guile.
Like, okay, bro, you can play Guile.
Some more news I ended up just recently finding out. The guys who make X Defiant, they ended up releasing what are the game modes that they're gonna have for the ring.
Damn.
So Occupy, Domination, Zone Patrol, and Escort. Those are gonna be the 4 main ones in ring. So
let's go, another escort mission.
Escort's not that bad in X
So
Defiant. I'm a cap. It isn't. I'm with it. I'm not a hater.
Yeah, man.
No,
Season 1's about to come out soon, man. We gotta jump on it.
No, I'm just joshing the people who like fucking bitch about escort missions.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, hold up. Someone posted something in Squad. Is it Vile saying you can't? We Squad or not?
Did you guys talk about the Capcom thing? Because that can also be like another miscellaneous thing.
Oh shit! What happened to Capcom?
What's up?
No, it's what I talked about yesterday. It's like my question mark kind of question. It was like, why is Capcom being nice right now?
Oh, I said not really, but whatever. I mean, we already talked about Capcom in the last podcast, so I'm not gonna say anything. I already think.
Okay, yeah.
To me, it's redundant.
Just the Resident Evil trilogy on like GOG. I don't know what the actual like name for it is. Like classic trilogy, you can buy it there. Then the announcement of Dead Rising remake or remastered. It says remastered, so it's remastered.
Again, but the thing is, they could be lying. You already know. Just look at Final Fantasy Remake. That's not a remake. That's a reimagining, bro. They just want money. But also, Bandai Namco's a piece of shit. I seen a great video talking about how Bandai Namco's a bad company. Like, low-key, again, go look at my video. That proves it. That Harada talks about why Soul Calibur got fucked and the Tekken got lucky. Like, Bandai Namco's just a really bad company to work under. And apparently they've been cooking even the From Stuff guys, too. So it's like, yeah, fun fact, Bandai Namco's really shitty to work for. And we got lucky, Tekken popped off. Like, Soul Calibur died because of Bandai Namco's mismatch management. Tekken survived because Harada was willing to defy the company. Like, you gotta give respects to our boy Harada, boy.
Shut the hell up and don't ask me for shit.
Yes, that guy. He's a legend. But yeah, fun fact. Now that you know that, Mar, that there's a reason Tekken, even for Tekken, like this, part of the reasons it sucks is not because of Harada. First of all, he's not even director. I can't say that enough. Because Bandai took him off of directing chart. So that's why he left as director. It wasn't his choice. Bandai forced him. And it's the way how a lot of corporate structure works. I've seen a video, like, you can get promoted into basically not being good. And it basically, the whole thing goes, like, say you're really good at insert role here at the beginning. You get promoted, and you're even better. But then you get promoted again, and you're terrible. And then you don't want to get demoted because now it's a demotion. But then say someone else, and so I started a guy and a girl as an example, right? Because of their office position, and then say, oh, you're really good at the position above you, but you're not good at the position where you're at currently, so they don't promote you, even though you'd be better for the position that you could be promoted to. You know, like, company structure is garbage. They care purely about seniority.
Is fucking bullshit, bro.
Yeah, and that's what happened. Look at Harada. He was a good direct, clearly, as we see, because if it wasn't for him, Tekken wouldn't be where it is right now. And guess what? He is not involved with direct gameplay shit. He's only involved with, like, characters and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that 100, because he's the guy above. He gets to be the like, should we allow Noctis, and how much do we charge? You know? Heck, the fact that he goes to Evo and events like that, they don't pay him for that. He does it because he knows that that's what you need to keep the game alive. The Soul Calibur guys, no, they just fell in line like everybody else in the Japanese industry does, you know?
I mean, but the main reason why they do it, I understand. Like, for a lot of people over here who don't really understand business, but a lot of times people really lie behind the business, the corporate side of things itself, because they feel like, oh, okay, if we stay behind them, then maybe we'll end up making just as much money as they do, and, you know, basically make everyone rich, which is totally not the case. That never fucking happens, because if you're a lesser position than anyone who's higher up than you, then you're already just fucking in their eyes. From like 9 to 5, you're basically sucking.
Yeah,
like, they really don't give a shit about you.
So yeah,
and you know, I really got love for Harada, man. For the fact that he does go to events, the fact that he does love talking to the community. You know, he's active on Twitter. He's talking to the community on there as well all the time. Like, he's a fucking Chad and a half, man.
No, exactly.
We need more people like him, and then on top of that, we need more people like him that are actually, like, have more power than, you know, what they do currently have.
And another thing I personally noticed too, I noticed that same remember how I said talent? Dude, yeah, no, he even noted that the Soul Calibur youth, again, check out my video. We're not as, and I'm just gonna stop by. Go watch my video, guys. I actually went into great detail, but that's it, guys. Watch my video about Harada.
Plug, constant plug. We need to keep plugging. Play it.
Yeah, but there you go. I mean, hopefully you guys watch that way, you guys know, because it's a really good. Again, I summarized the article, but I believe I put the link. If not, just put type IG in Harada and you'll find it.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was right. I called it because even Harada was saying, like, oh no, the guys are getting the hang of Unreal Engine really well, and see what I'm saying? Like, fuck, dude. And that's why I hate people who think, like, you know, it's not just one. Like, the director is in charge of a lot, don't get me wrong, but you got to give props to the people that work under them. They're the ones doing a lot of the brunt work. You know, they're the ones that can make a lot of this shit possible.
Like, they're the ones that on crunch time, those guys are more needed than anything else.
Exactly. Thank you. You know. So I hate when someone says, like, anybody can, like, dude, there's a reason not. I mean, not anybody just is a fucking Tekken pro. Not anybody's just Usain Bolt. Hey, you guys, if what I do say, let me go right now and track it. Let me go beat Usain Bolt. No bitch. You know.
When's the next big CEO, right?
I think so. I mean, I'm not keeping real. I have not been keeping track as much. I've just been so busy deving, and like I said, I'm kind of vindictive towards the FGC at this point, especially with how many of them ban infiltration and. You know, I'm just mad.
No, the fact that you're making a game and it's gonna be fucking banger as fuck when it comes out. That's fucking perfectly fine with me.
Right. You guys, I am vindictive to a degree, and like, I'm just not excited. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, there's a reason I make these videos. Like, I mean, Mark can attest. It's hard to be excited for something when you know that either like in Halo or COD or Gears case, there's just not any hype. There's not enough people watching. There's no money, or you just know competitively it's annoying to play because the game sucks. When we've seen this with all of us pro players, we can shake hands. Gears, COD, Street Fighter, Tekken. It's our competitive scene just actually sucks right now. Like, it's not where we're not happy with it. Either there's not enough people watching, there's not enough fame, there's not enough people growing, not enough people coming into it, sponsors or something, or it's just not fun to play. COD 100% knows this. Like, our meta's fucked. Oh, Gears of War 5. Oh, and now everybody can fucking ball bounce. Then it's not special. Now with modern controls, that's the debate. But in reality, like, oh, modern controls are nerfed, so it's not as bad as Gears of 5. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's just things.
If you bring up Gears 5, I actually went back and started playing it now just for shit and giggles, and I've been noticing a huge influx of a lot of new players, and not just Gears 5. Like in Gears 1 and fucking 3. Oh no, 2 and 3 they have a lot. 4 it looks like they have a little bit of people. Judgment, which I'm kind of shocked because I hate Judgment.
I know everybody does.
People are even playing that too, man. Like Gears is actually like looking good, but one of my main things right now with Gears of War, one thing I feel like that needs to get taken out, I hate to say it, For as much as I love it, wall boxing's got to go, man.
I mean, eh? See, look, and this is, and I'm willing to respect this thing because he actually is active, and I can see the mind process or thought process behind it. I'm actually curious.
One of the biggest reasons why a lot of people got off of Gears of War is because, not the whole active reload thing I was about to say. Fucking wall bouncing for a lot of people, because they don't really understand the concept. Because if you go from campaign to multiplayer, it's two completely different speeds. Yeah, when people go through the campaign and then they jump into multiplayer, they expect to have that same speed that they had in the campaign. And they go into multiplayer and say, "Okay, what the hell are all these people doing, bouncing around like ping pong balls with fucking shotguns? Like, I'm here with the torque bow, I can't even aim at anybody because they're moving ultra fast, and I don't even know where the hell to aim." The casuals are going to be the main ones to actually bring these games up. When Gears of War E-Day comes out, I'm going to be extremely worried because I already know every Gears head is going to, like, immediately, okay, can we wall bounce in this game? Okay, let's see how easy it's going to be. And that's going to ruin shit, man. Like, we live in a day and age that the moment somebody finds out how to fucking wall bounce, they're going to post it up online on YouTube, and everyone else is going to look it up, and everyone's going to start doing it, and everyone's going to not have fun anymore.
I mean,
because we're not going to be running to go get the boom. We're not going to be running to go get the sniper. We're not going to be running to go get anything because we have shotguns. We're just going to bounce back and forth until we get to each other, and then we're going to shoot each other in the fucking face mid-wall bounce.
I feel like that just happens with any game when, like, anyone finds a tech. That's just inevitable.
But especially now more than ever, even fighting games. Like, dude, even Punk, actually, I can see that. Like, for sure, like, finding tech too fast just kind of does ruin it because now everyone just wants to be a meta whore, even though, like, bro, none of you are pro players. Like, and again, I love that. That's the #1 thing with COD. It's not the SBMM. It is bad. Don't get me wrong. It's bad. But it's that, like, everyone wants to be a sweat for no reason. Like, we can't just play casually now, you know?
Oh, then here's my
like, because there's too many casuals that just want to do anything to make their game easier, even if it means learning to do something that's not fun.
Yeah. But carry on.
I feel like it's way too easily accessible to do that when someone finds a new tech. Yeah. Like, the thing that happened with Apex Legends when it was first starting, no one knew how to fucking do shit. Then the first year happens, you cannot fucking touch the veterans.
Yep. You're not wrong because I'm a Titanfall player, so that's the reason I was the best Apex player when it came out. Nobody knew about, like, I literally was doing the tech from Titanfall and I was, oh, it's the same shit, but they nerfed it. And then I quit because Apex was boring as fuck. Dude, it's crazy that I am literally the best Siege and Apex player of all time and no one even knows it. Because I was the best one for, like, the first month. But now technically I don't play that shit anymore because it's ass. People are like, well, he's bullshit. Like,
yeah, I was going to end up saying, man, because I want to make an argument that, like, if we take out wall bouncing inside of Gears of War, the game will actually become much better. Because it'll turn back into a stop and pop shooter, and it'll be a shooter that was really heavily on team-based, like, tactics. We can actually work as a team and not worry about that one guy that keeps bouncing around off the fucking walls, taking everyone out. Hi, that was me. I'm sorry that I decided to ruin your entire game. You actually left the game because I'm an asshole. I am willing to meet you in the middle, and hopefully we'll be able to find an even ground here because now you and your friends can actually shoot. And because now that this is a stop and pop shooter now, you know, this is no longer running and gunning. I'm no longer bouncing my giant fucking car-sized ass cheeks off the wall with the fucking little shotgun in hand with 8 fucking pellets in it, getting ready to blast your fucking face off. Now that won't no longer be a thing. Like, I do get it. They did try to stop it by, you know, oh, if you have the lantern, you shoot somebody using the wall bounce, then, you know, obviously it slows them down. Like, they try to litigate it like that, and honestly, it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all whatsoever, because the poor individual fucks that I really do watch, like, you can go and see highlights of people going against other people who know how to wall bounce, and they have no fucking fun with this game whatsoever. So those are the people who I feel really bad for. So in my opinion, if you end up taking that off, then it's going to be more of a team-based game. You'll be able to play more with your friends, be able to tactically play properly, and things will be a lot easier for everyone. I mean, at the same time, there'll still be a skill gap because, hey, there's going to be certain ways to actually use these maps to our advantage. Like, we have to tactically, like, sit over here and, like, watch out for this angle and this, like, we can get that shit back again. And the game will actually, I think, it'll end up being more fun again.
Anything else to add on, you two, or?
Nope.
I got okay, carry on.
Yes, I love my wall bouncing. Please, again, ladies and gentlemen, wall bouncing is fucking incredible. But as a fucking casual wall bouncer, like, I could literally do this shit blindfolded on just about any map, and it's fucking easy.
I only know how to do it because I'm Mexican, and like I said, one KOF player either found it first or found it different than the other dude. So apparently Mexicans just know how to wall bounce. Don't ask us why. deal with it.
We just like walls, bro.
We're like the Asians for Gears of War.
They just found it by literally spamming the fucking button.
Yeah, exactly. That's all the American and the Mexican fun. Like I said, I don't know the lore, but I really don't care. Regardless, Mexicans are just really good at Gears. We're just crackheads, and I'm living proof. Like I don't lab Gears, and I'm good as fuck. Apparently, I think I'm okay.
Shout out to Stevenson Strife, the greatest Gears of War player of all time, who did not compete, who actually went into the military, served for us for about a good decade, and ended up coming back, had a fucking wonderful family and kids, and still occasionally jumps on Gears of War just to shit on motherfuckers. And he's still just as incredible now as he was back then. It's fucking insane.
I don't know. Some people, like I said, talent. Some people just built different, bro. You know, apparently Mexicans, we were born for KOF and Gears. No one asked me why. Weird. Same how Asians are born.
I think it's because it was popular in Mexico.
But again, like I said before, being popular is one thing, but like just being that good, it's like sometimes, because the thing is, believe it or not, some games have a cultural thing. Like Street Fighter is a Japanese ass game. It has a very Japanese mentality. You know, like it's about honor and discipline. And once you do that, you do whatever you want. That's why links are there. That's why the way combo structures are, and it's a very Japanese philosophy. And if you understand that, you're good. KI is a very American philosophy fighting game. If you understand that, you're good. You know, it's crazy how the philosophy of like, again, same with the creator and what it is. And again, you see it in Gears of War. It's a very like American aggressive kind of game, but also smart. That's what basically Mexicans are. Aggressive, smart monkeys. I know, because I am literally that. Like, dude, I literally have a Mexican playstyle for both Gears and Street fighting games, because, you know, I'm Mexican. I'm not beating the allegations.
Hey man, if you're down to go through the campaign or even play any of the multiplayer, man, just hit me up, because I've been doing that now for the past few weeks.
Oh, dude, I was just thinking of doing that with like Clockwork for Best Friends Fit, so then me and you can do it then. Best Friends Violet or Mara edition. So there you go. Is there 3 players? Is there 3 players or only 2 players? A quick question.
I think Gears 1 and 2 is 2 players, and I think Gears 3 is the first one to actually have 4 players.
Then there we go. That's what it is. But yeah, anyway, so I'm here to defend actually wall bouncing. So here's the thing. I respect a lot of what Mar says, and I agree. Here's the thing that why I respect it the most is that he says I'm willing to meet you halfway, and that's what too many pros are not willing to do. And same with nooblets. You have to be halfway. Again, Gears did the same thing. I think the approach for 4 was right. Let's just make it easier to do quarter circles. It's the same thing. Great shout outs to the Diamond Gears player. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll put his link below. But he said Gears 4 situation is exactly like Street Fighter 5. Let's make the execution for the move easier so more people can do it. But in reality, they kind of circumvent. That's not really the problem. Like Mar said, is people just run into these people. And this is why skill-based matchmaking exists. So the noobs can play noobs and vets can play vets. The thing is, Gears, from what I know, has very lackluster skill-based matchmaking. That's its problem. So people are saying, like, no, you need... If someone wall bounces, either they need to put a system where, like, oh, they're wall bouncing, put them against other wall bouncers. They're not, put them not a hard system to implement. So to me, it's not about getting rid of it. But Gears 5's problem is that there is literally no execution for wall bouncing. But here's the problem, and Mario will tell you, is that some people don't even know about it. Saying like, oh yeah, cool, combos are easy to do. Dude, most people don't even know how to do combos. You get what I'm saying? Like they're reaching for the stars with homie. We need to reach the moon first. You know what I'm saying? And I teach nooblets. I understand the mindset. And really all it is that have good skill-based matchmaking. It's not that hard. It really, Street Fighter nailed it. What if one day I want to go against the Sweat? You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, just copy what Street Fighter does. They nailed skill-based matchmaking to the point that nobody even knows it technically has it. And that's why, to me, it's like, don't get rid of it, but if we can get rid of it, and it'll make it more bearable, then all right, sure. And then, the other thing is, too, the reason people get rid of, I was talking about how they got rid of reload canceling for Halo, right? Is that the reason why getting rid of some of these techniques is that it can really sour your fan base and your hardcore audience. And then it also, to me, it will dampen the competitive experience 100% because it adds layers and depth to the game, right? So, but again, I'm with Mar. It's like if it can make the game more tolerable, I am also willing to get rid of wall bouncing, and same with like, because at the end of the day is I'd rather we build a strong audience, because here's the thing, you can always reintroduce it. Look at look at Street Fighter 5, great example, crazy at fighting games, I know this. Let's get rid of one frame links. People were mad upset, and to this day there's still people that hate Street Fighter 5 because they can't do one frame links. Guess what? In Street Fighter 6, they brought them back while also introducing modern controls. So with you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, Mar, right? Like I would rather we can keep it,
100%.
but if we have, like I said, I would rather they just have good skill-based matchmaking. I love wall bouncing, and to me, here's the difference. Like why I think Gears is not in the same boat as COD. Gears is one actually competitive. No offense to COD, but COD is a very low skill game. It is. Gears is not. Gears is a very high skill ceiling fucking. It has a high entry to barrier and high entry to get good. Like, that is fact. Because I'm Mexican. I am naturally good at things that are hard. I don't know what to tell you guys. And I love Gears. Like, Gears is actually fun wall balancing and shit. Like, I genuinely, again, this is how you know we're Mexican. We look at hard shit like, okay, OF, oh, did you drop a combo? GG, shake my fucking hand. Like, Mexicans, we just love brutal shit. That's why we're also good at KI. Like, literally, we love shit that's like, fuck you in your face kind of shit, right? And
we do, man.
Mind you, okay, I'm sorry, I guess I'm a really good Gears player. I've never once labbed that shit. I always heard about wall balancing, and I started doing fighting game stuff while I did it. So I technically discovered wall bouncing. No one ever taught me. I discovered it. I just heard vague things about it, applied fighting game stuff. Hey, I discovered it too. No one told me. I didn't see no YouTube videos. I just knew it was like a thing. And I was having mad fun facing other people who have been doing this shit for years. And I was like, yo, this is sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is my experience going to get cucked? Because someone wants wall bouncing. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's why I'm like, Gears is actually fun at a high level because like it's MLG. You don't get little bitch headshots. The aim assist isn't fucking crazy. You have to it's just a good actual competitive shooter, and that's super fucking rare. Like, this is why I like Gears competitive, and it's my favorite scene of MLG, hands down. You guys meant like, it's just, it looks good, it's sick, it has execution, something none of the other games can say. Like, Halo got rid of it. That's why, like, to me, Halo isn't as interesting. Like, the reload canceling tech was sick. If you fucked it up, you could get shot. Oh, you could, let me throw a grenade to make the sniper come in my hand. Like, that's sick. Oh, did you fuck it up? Well, there goes the sniper. You're not using it anymore. You know, there are consequences to your actions if you don't nail it. Whereas COD, haha, fucking aim assist with fucking quick scope go burr. Like, it's boring as shit if you know everybody can do it. That's why, to me, modern controls is really boring to watch competitively. That's why I'm glad it's not viable. You know, because, you know what I'm saying? When you look at a combo, but you know, oh, he just smashed square. No one's impressed. Literally, like, even Cody was saying, we were watching a match, we were watching Tokido. We saw like, oh, that combo looks sick. The second he saw modern, immediately was unimpressed. Like, it will hamper the competitive series. But again, I'm willing to meet halfway, because look at Street Fighter 5, great example. If it can help people get more in, like, again, even it worked with me. I didn't like Street Fighter 4. I thought it was too stiff, and I didn't like the combo system. 5, I liked way more. Smoother, better combo system. Again, I agree with that. If that's what we have to do and the developers don't know how to implement good skill-based matchmaking system, I would say that is the lesser of two evils. But then also, I think that's a different conversation. Because, yeah, no, I agree. Gears is that kind of game, right? And wall bouncing, in a sense, is I think wall bouncing for sure needs to be tweaked, at least, from what I'm hearing. Because it does go against what some of the core tenets of the game are. I think that's when a skill or something done needs to go. And people were saying, oh, reload canceling ruins Halo. Like, not really. It's still sandboxy. And, like, it is only for this specific situation when you're up close. And how many... And at the end of the day, if you just backdash and then have a shoddy, reload canceling doesn't matter. You know, that's why I feel like reload canceling is one of those things that is not in the same vein as the quarter circle or the fucking wall bounce, right? I think it's something that should have been left. And I don't even think... I mean, what's your thoughts on that one, at least? As someone who actually played competitive Halo. Because I've seen a whole hour video about reload canceling and shit.
I'm just gonna...
Well, the fun part about reload canceling, like, for a lot of people who didn't know, during the Halo 2 era, which this was actually very prominent, BXR was one technique and BYYB was another technique that a lot of people used to use all the time, mainly to either increase their shot input or to literally cancel an entire fucking animation. That is basically all they were really doing, realistically. Mm-hmm. Now, during these times, during MLG and Halo 2, if you did not know these things, you could not compete.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatsoever. And that was just the end all be all for a good amount of time, for about 3 years, until Halo 3 came out, where they actively just got rid of both of those so that people can, you know, just play a little more on an even ground. I would argue, I'd be shocked to actually say this because I did love Halo 2 during that time. Mm-hmm. It did kind of make the sandbox a little better, because then a lot of people ended up learning a little more about other things that they were able to do.
Exactly.
And thankfully they didn't touch on a lot of that shit until like much later on, until they essentially perfected the fucking game in like 2009. I'm going to end up saying that it really didn't need to get taken out at all.
Exactly.
It was actually a really good, it was a really good line to actually see like who was a competitor and who was like a casual player.
Right.
That it really did, like, it really did differentiate yourself. It wasn't, oh, I'm going to make my way all the way up to level 50. No, because even during that time, if you're going to make your way to level 50, you had to know these fucking techniques. If you didn't know this shit, no one didn't give a fuck.
Right.
Like you were trash compared to literally the people who were sitting at 49.50. Mm-hmm. That was just pure fact during that time. And oh, go ahead.
No, carry on.
All right. And when it comes to the technique for wall bouncing, like, Perfect example. My very first event I ever went to, that was Major League Gaming. MLG Chicago 2007. What did I compete for? Gears of War. Everyone there knew how to wall bounce. Everyone there. Like, it essentially felt like it was a requirement during the time. And it made perfect sense because, I mean, in order for you to get to certain weapons a little faster, that and weapon sliding, you needed to know these two things, because if you didn't, then if you were going to try to pick up a weapon and somebody already had a power weapon like a sniper rifle, the moment you picked up that weapon, your fucking face was gone. So you had to know these things, and that was actually a really good time for Gears of War. I believe Gears of War 1 was like the true like beginning of like competitive shooting, because Halo 2 was kind of winging itself out going into Halo 3, where, like I said, they took out a lot of those things. Gears of War was just starting, and it really blossomed on that idea of being able to use these techniques to not only one-up your opponent, but also take huge advantage within the map. And it turned into a fucking fun fest. Like, in all honesty, for me, Gears of War 1 versus any other Gears 1 was like pure awesome, mwah, chef's kiss. Like, to me, that's my melee.
Ew.
That's my Smash Bros. Melee. Yeah, for as much as like ill you could say, like, there's no lie. Fucking Smash fans love fucking melee.
True. Yeah, no, for sure. Pedos. Anyways, but you know, for me, the other thing I was saying is that, like, the thing I was trying to get at is too, is like, if anything, we could do a comp, because I think I could see why wall bouncing became more of a problem. Because I don't know the exact difference. I forgot what the difference between 1 and 2, because I did hear some people like, oh, 1. Me personally, I think I might lean more towards 2, maybe 3. I think what the problem with wall bouncing is, it does need to be tweaked. I think because I think it's a problem if people just, they don't even have to get, we just go wall bounce and shotgun. Like, I think it's bad if the meta just gets ruined by insert thing. Like, I think that is objectively bad. I think part of the problem is...
Well, here's the fun part about this, because actually, now that you're bringing up 2, I'm going to tell you the difference between 1 and 2, because funny enough, Gears of War 2 is the reason why I actually first retired away from gaming. Gears of War 2, the way how they ended up nerfing wall bouncing, if you were to be in a very fast animation of doing whatever in Gears of War, if somebody had like a lancer or they were shooting straight at you, they essentially slowed you down. The moment they ended up slowing you down to the point where, like, it felt like a dead stop and it was really easy to kill you. So that's what kind of ruined the whole thing. For me, I stopped mainly because of that, because I thought that was a really stupid mechanic, because even if I'm not actually trying to wall bounce, if I'm just trying to get the cover, if somebody actually hits me, they could slow me down and fuck me up, and that's going to end up ruining the whole thing. For me, that kind of ruined the whole, like, I'm going to get into cover before I get fucking blasted type of deal. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of the time when people were playing, you know, a lot of people weren't even actually hitting the walls the way how they were supposed to. They'll usually just sit in the angle and just wait for you and actually, like, basically, like, look over the wall and actually see where the fuck you are. Like, people did that shit all the fucking time. As a matter of fact, up to this day, in Gears 5, people still do that shit because it's very easy. It's a very easy tactic to try to figure out where people are. Instead of just you hugging the fucking wall and then trying to peek over your head and, like, where the fuck are you? No, you can literally just, like, walk up to the wall and just kind of peek your character over without really exposing yourself and actually see where the fuck they are.
Right. Yeah, and okay, I mean, there was something about, like, the whole getting shot and being slow thing. Give me a minute, but...
I feel like the Gears of War community basically just fell off hard. Wasn't just the competition being ended. Like, less and less people were playing because more and more people that would try would see all this wall bouncing stuff and just be turned off by it. But my whole thing is, do we really need wall bouncing in order for it to stay a competitive game? Like,
true.
all the other mechanics in the game would really just go off of the idea of it being a stop and pop shooter. There's only one mechanic that goes against it, and that's wall bounce. Like, when you wall bounce, it's no longer a stop and pop shooter. Meaning, you know, you stop going to cover and use the cover to try to shoot at the opponent. Like, it's no longer that. It's literally a running gun shooter. Instead, here, it's just wall bouncing and gun shooting. Like, because all you're doing is just popping off the wall like a bunny, get to your opponent, pop him with the shotgun a couple of times, or you two-piece him, you just hit him with the melee and then you hit him with the shotgun, and then you just move on to the next person, which you could just wall hop to. Like, the difference in movement between a player who does wall hop and doesn't wall hop really makes that much of a difference on, like, just how much interactivity there is in the game. And for a lot of people, they're not willing to sit there and learn the wall bouncing mechanic just for them to get good enough to not die instantly.
And like I said, my whole thing is, no. Again, pretty much reiterating. By the way, you guys, if you guys are wondering why the pod's off in a different game, because cut off and now we're here now, and that's why. But yeah, well, my thing too, like I said, going back, I stated it before, but just to really reiterate why I think the real solution is that no, he's absolutely right. And the problem with Gears 4 and 5 is that they're like, oh, let's make it easier. But the thing is, much like with Street Fighter and anything, like, oh, let's make combos easier. The bigger problem, same with Street Fighter, is that people don't even know or even try to, you know? Like, yeah, they see wall bouncing, but they're like, oh, they're just gonna give up. They're not even gonna try to learn or do it or anything. That's why, to me, literally the solution, skill-based matchmaking, but do it good, you know? Because again, it's the same thing with fucking, like, I can tell immediately, because same with bomb bouncing in Tekken, it's like in Tekken, right? If I see someone can't Korean backdash, same with you, Mark, do we want to run that shit? We're like, nah, this motherfucker's weak as shit. And then when they see someone Korean backdash, they're like, they're like, oh, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. You know? That's all it is. But the problem with Gears is that, the bigger problem, I think, is the offline content and how bad it hasn't been doing. Same with Halo. That's the real core, not even the online, in my opinion. Because now that you have such a small player base, you're gonna run into more sweats more frequently, in a sense, right? Like, to me, like I said before, I like, actually, Gears is an actual FPS that we're playing high levels fun, whereas COD not really, because you don't get to interact with the core of the game, which is a kill streak. Good luck trying to get a high kill streak when everyone's fucking sweaty as fuck. But to me, the biggest solution is, like I said, I think wall balancing does need to get nerfed, but not so much in the execution. Like, that's a funny thing people don't realize. Like, the fact that it was harder to do was the self-balancing. You saw less people wall bounce. Like, all doing these mechanics easier, the same Street Fighter's proven, all it has is made it people that are good at it easier to do it, or people that aren't as good, it actually oppresses lower level players. So the solution is not, let's make everybody can wall bounce. No, that's not the solution. Keep the execution high, so that way only really good people can do it. And even if they are, they can't consistently do it. Like, can you imagine how much of a bitch Kazuya would be if everyone can just God Fist with a single button press? People would start bitching about Kazuya. But guess what? People don't, because it's hard as fuck to do it. So then, literally, this is what people don't understand. Why skill and execution exist. It in itself is a self-balancing act. Literally. That's why literally motion inputs exist. But guess what? And even when that's not the case, it differentiates, like, immediately. That's why I think with games like COD especially, like, because it's not that hard. Like, let's be real. Once you know how to play, you're basically this way. Like, I understand there's a hard gap in COD players. Like, do you know how to play? And you not. You know, those people, like, they have shitty awareness, this and that. And there's an in-between, but the problem is the average COD player is just too good now. Like, they just can play, and actually being good at COD is, like, boring as fuck. And there's, like, a slight difference between a sweat and just someone who knows how to play. Like, I go from sweat to know how to play, like, randomly, depending on my golden day. But fucking, to me, it's like, no, just actually implement good skill-based matchmaking. You know, to let people choose. Literally, let people choose. Like, okay, we'll think this is where your skills at. Like, again, it's not hard. Again, not hard. Is he wall bouncing? And it's easier. And the problem is everybody knows how to wall bounce, and it becomes harder to dictate. But if you have 3 different skill gaps, like, oh, they don't even do it at all. Oh, they can, but they're trying, or maybe they're using the easy version. Let's say there's an easy version. Like, they say they can put in the settings, oh, like easy wall bounce or some bullshit. And then just the other people are like, nah, give us the hard version, right? And maybe, and also, again, Street Fighter did this. Here's Marta controls. Weaknesses, you cannot do as much damage. You can do inputs. You have less access to moves. And most of us are going to choose classic. You know? And even then, oh, we have access to, like, one-frame links and shit. Like, Street Fighter 6 oddly kind of nailed this back. Like I said, it's weird. It's really weird. But I don't know. To me, the bigger problem for the multiplayer is have enough people. Like, the funny thing is, if you have enough people to play against, the skill issue becomes less of a problem. You know? But again, it becomes less if you actually make wall bouncing hard again. Like, that's where I'm at. Make wall bouncing hard again or get rid of it. Can we at least say that? Either make it hard again or just don't have it at all. Or even, like I said, I think it needs tweaking. Because Gears definitely is a pop-and-shop shooter. And for sure, wall bouncing kind of ruined that. And again, in Gears 1 and 2, I don't think it was as big a problem as, say, like 3 and 4. Because it wasn't easy to do it, you know? I mean, you tell me, Mara. Do you think I'm on point with that, with the skill thing? Because I know for sure wall bouncing was way harder in 1 and 2. Well, I don't know if it was a thing in 1, but I know it was a thing in 2.
Going way back, just to the trilogy alone, the Gears 1, 2, and 3. Wall bouncing back in those games, like, it did require a lot of practice in order for you to get it down right, because there were some instances where, I mean, if you played with a decent team that didn't know how to wall bounce, if they caught you off guard, then you're basically done. So going into Judgment, which I kind of felt like was the Gears of War going in the Call of Duty direction.
Oh, yeah.
So Gears of War Judgment, and then Gears of War 4, and then Gears of War 5. Like, each one of those games essentially just made not just wall bouncing, but wall canceling like wall bounce canceling became such a prevalent thing as well, where like literally anyone's capable of doing it, but like a lot of people didn't take the time to do it just because they got into a game where everyone already at this point, they just know what to do. Like, most times you don't see anyone go for the power weapons. They immediately just go and start wall bouncing. Exactly. Go search for anyone and just blast them with shotguns. And then after a few rounds of killing the entire team, you go pick up the power weapons. Either you completely waste them or you essentially just spawn camp your opponent. And like it just makes the game feel very stale.
Yes, no, I agree. Yeah, Gears of War 4 really had that problem. And again, I love that playstyle personally, but to me, wall bouncing should exist as like, oh, if I want to really like, obviously, oh, let me get into a like, let's say for example, like it's an open field. Like, my thing is, if you're running open field, you should die. Like everyone knows that about Gears, right? Like wall bouncing was a way like, oh, like at first original technique, oh, let me try to get there a bit faster. And then the meta play for a sniper say, oh, let me go where he's gonna wall bounce and hit him right before. Then, oh, let me cancel it and get out of it and then make him miss, right? Like it was like that last resort, like just for that instance, I think, or even around the corner, oh, let me get around and then go back. Like, you know, it was usually just, oh, let me cancel this last. It's again wall bounce, you know, or wall canceling, right? Like it's in the name, canceling. But the fact that you make that it's such a dominant strategy, yeah, I'm just gonna run around everywhere. I don't even have to care. I don't have to think twice. I can cancel, dodge, roll. And again, like you said, just not even go for, and that's what I meant specifically when it fucks over with the meta. Because at the end of the day, we can agree Gears is a pop and stop shooter, right? And wall bouncing ruined that meta, like modern wall bouncing, I would say. Because old one, like people still popped and shot, right? Like you couldn't just simply, right, fucking do it. And I think part of it goes to map design too. I think part of it is that the modern Gears maps aren't designed with that in mind, you know, if that makes sense. Like, I feel there's too much cover. I feel there's too much cover.
A couple of the newer maps that I like aesthetically, like the idea, the appeal of some of the areas that they do make on some of these maps is pretty nice, but also goes off the assumption that people actually want to go after power weapons, which 9 times out of 10 is not even a thing, because like I said, a lot of people now, like, oh, why do I need a power weapon when I could just, you know, jump my ass literally off the wall, ping-ponging around like it's Sonic Pinball, with a shotgun and just go straight in your face and blow you up, and then just continue on doing that till I get over to your spawn point and wait for the 5-second immunity, because of course Gears 3 introduced the 5-second immunity into the fucking spawn camping, but it didn't really do much, because it's like, if you know how long it's going to take for somebody to go from A to B, so you can literally just be outside of that 5-second mark, and as soon as it hits after 5 seconds, you're able to kill them.
And you know what?
Even if you flip spawns, it's still going to be just as bad, because again, they're still able to wall bounce really good. They're just going to wall bounce after they killed you with their shotgun, and they pick up your ammo. They're going to wall bounce their way back to the other side before you spawn, and then do it over. Sorry about that, man. I started fucking...
No, you're good, dude. That's the whole point. But yeah, and that just goes to show you that people don't understand why do games like Gears, or not even just Gears, but any competitive-ish game, like why do they, I feel like they're the only ones that have semi-excuse to lack, like when they're esports focused. Look at how much attention to detail you have to do for fucking balancing. That's why fighting games notoriously have the least amount of content, but they're some of the best and highest level and rewarding games to play. Because, like, they focus so much on balancing. Like, literally very few other games, even FPSs do not touch the level of fucking balancing that fighting games go into. Because think about it. Finding a genuinely broken fighting game is really fucking rare, whereas FPS is like, it's super common to see the meta get absolutely fucked. Absolutely. Say what you will about, say, Street Fighter 4 or this or that. Still more balanced than the average fucking shooter, bro. You know?
100%.
And that's, to me, like, the other thing I think that also really ruined, that helped, all these little factors, that's what's crazy. Another one is damage. I feel you died a lot faster in older Gears. And the movement in general was more stiff, and I think the movement is also faster, like general movement. I was even gonna say that's another thing. So the damage, like again, if you fucked up, oh, you only had wall bounce, and then that's it. That's all you had. And then did they get a couple body shots? You couldn't move as well. Oh, you just died. It was the fact that you couldn't just, you can in modern Gears. Oh, your base movement already good. Fucking, and you have godlike wall bouncing, and it takes a minute to die. Like, well, no wonder it's a dominant strategy. There's no risk, pure reward. You know, why go for a power weapon, bro? You know, it's a trifecta. I think that's why Gears 4 is from that onward. Like you said, Judgment. Like, no. And to me, I would say definitely keep. I like smoother movement for sure, but keep some of the aspects of what the stiff Gears of 1 and 2 had. Right? Like I said, like basically just nerf wall bouncing, right? Don't get rid of it, nerf it. That's really where I'm at. I want to keep the smooth movement for sure, because a lot of people can't stand stiff movement. Like, fair enough. Even though that's the appeal of Gears, but like I said, me and Mar are smart. We're willing to meet people halfway, right? We're not gonna say, oh, change it by, because boomers are too unrealistic with that. It's like, dude, same example, like Resident Evil games. Like, I would love the old classic controls, but we have to have, like I said, don't make them unresponsive. The problem with modern Resident Evil reimaginings is they're really unresponsive. And people, oh my god, this feels so much better. Like, no, it doesn't. It's unresponsive as fuck, but because it has the interpolated fucking movement, you think it's fast. So mine's like, oh, meet him halfway. Let's keep the realistic graphics and let's keep that you can move and shoot, but don't try to do it over realistic and just give him responsiveness. Like, you know, meet me halfway. Again, same with Street Fighter 5 and 6. I'm okay with easier motion inputs. I'm okay with modern controls. Heck, I'm okay with the balancing. If it gets more, again, the main thing is how can we get more people into this fighting game? Street Fighter 5, like seriously, Gears. Look at Street Fighter 6. Let's really, and they're doing it. Oh, let's go with people like. Let's bring back characters they want. Oh, let's focus. Let's have a good focus on our story. Actually, let's go back to what people care. Let's go to the gritty, you know, setting and everything, right? So I think Gears is going in that direction. Like same with Street Fighter. Oh, let's have actual offline content. Now my thing, like the final one for me for Gears to pull a Street Fighter 6 is, what's their modern controls? Like literally, Gears needs modern controls. Like straight up, if I'm being honest, the best solution, like I said, copy Street Fighter 6. Where's your modern controls?
I could definitely see Gears of War running on modern controls.
Like give people an option to do easy this and that, but what's the weakness? Like, oh, like a good example, like, oh, give them their stupid, oh, smooth movement and all this stuff, but give them like no invul frames for like wall bouncing, fucking, or some other bullshit. And then the hardcore players who like it's stiff and the wall bouncing, like give them like some fat invul, but like the fattest execution to pull this shit, or some shit like that. Like, see, this is what I mean. And you know what's crazy though? Developers might even watch this and not even realize how right I am. And that's what I mean, like, developers, like, holy shit, bro. Please learn from other people from outside of your genre, bro. You'd be impressed how much you could learn.
And I'm honestly shocked the amount of people who actually would hear that, and they're so stuck up in their own ways that they wouldn't even dare even attempt to practice it. Like, the trial and error is perfectly fine when you're fucking developing. Oh yeah, it's gonna take a little longer. I'd rather have a good product that comes out that's extremely good because I tested it multiple times, rather than a product that I'm just kind of haphazardly just, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and yeah, it should be fine now.
And that's the funny thing too, you say it, because I've heard apparently one of the insiders for like what modern game, it says they lack a lot of play testing. Like by the time it gets to streamers, the streamers are in a sense like the halfway play tester. Like, the main PlayStations are there just for bugs, and that's it. Not actual gameplay feedback and shit. That's what the streamers are, and that's why, like, there's a good video that says streamers are ruining games because not everything's based off of what they want. And the bigger problem, and people were talking shit about trash states, how they become normie, like, oh man, visual novels are too long. And there's even, like I said, guys, feel free to watch it so we can get it for the next Vibecast. I posted before, and in there, I will say I posted a comment, and the bigger problem that you saw people, so it's a unique game, unique concept and everything. By the way, made by some of the people who made on Killzone, you can see it in the aesthetics. People are like, oh man, I wish this was an FPS. Oh, I wish this was single player driven. Oh, I wish I could get in the mix. But it's like, you're destroying the purpose of the game if you do that. And that's what the problem is with too many modern gamers. They, as Sajam says, play the game for what it is, not what you want it to be. And guess what? All these streamers, they're gonna look at Dr.Disrespect. Oh, if Halo had a battle royale, dude, shut the fuck up. This is not a stupid ass battle royale. Please miss me with that shit.
Okay, but what if it had a battle royale?
You know, and Bar said it. And again, Bar said it like every game needs to be unique. He
was actually texting a minor, so
do your own thing. Don't be afraid to break the mold. But no, all these games, they don't. Like I said before, Inside, they only want testers to test for bugs. And then when they like, oh, well, what's our beta test? Oh, just the public at large. And what does the public at large? Oh, we want the same thing. And then they complain, man, well, we've been having the same thing for years. It's like, holy shit, you guys are the problem. Because when you get something unique, you're like, oh, this unique thing, make it like the thing I already know that I'm sick of. It's like, holy fuck, bro. You can't make this shit up.
Yo, kind of going off side tangent here. Have you been seeing this argument that everyone's been having about Elden Ring?
Oh yeah, that's a good thing to talk about. Good job.
The Elden Ring DLC being hard?
Well, since we're talking about difficulty in games and a lot of plebs actually being incapable of learning shit, I feel like this is a good part of the conversation we could jump into with the DLC that everyone's talking about, and a lot of people having a problem because it's quote-unquote too hard.
Oh, we're dead. Yeah.
Now, for me, personally, I do like hard games. Challenging games are a lot of fun. I find great fun in that, and I know there's a lot of games that cater to me just having a good time. Perfect example, Call of Duty. I turn it on, I shoot people in the face, a bunch of stickers and stuff get thrown in my face of good job, you shot these people in the face, and then that's it. Meanwhile, you can go play a Souls-like game, and like you literally have to like put yourself in that mindset of, okay, I'm playing a Soulsborne game. I need to be able to not get struck over some stupid shit that I probably went through 100 times, but every now and then I do get caught up to stupid shit. It happens. Now, the whole thing that I've seen, and a lot of people are kind of giving her flack for it, a lot of peers actually brought up the idea of Elden Ring needs to be easier because I have kids.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Like, here's my question. If you have kids, I have two questions. One, why are you playing Elden Ring?
Yes, thank you.
And two, how can you say it's hard to play Elden Ring because you have kids when you, in fact, are already in hard mode in life and dealing with kids?
Deadass?
Like, in all honesty, like, if I had a choice between...
I'm a Papa Can for that one.
Thank you.
Like,
carry on.
If I had a choice between being a parent, I mean, don't get me wrong, you already know the answer to that. Like, being a parent is far more difficult because, again, not only are you worried about your life, now you're worried about this significant little person's life. And you have to make sure that you navigate them through the horrendous shit that is Western society, especially if you live in America.
Yeah, tell them.
Like stupid, snarky ass fucking jokes aside, like to be serious, to make it sound like being a parent is a disability. No, being a parent is a choice. Yes. Most people make the choice to become a parent. Just like you made the choice to go out and buy Elden Ring. The game is known to be difficult. Soulsborne games are known to be difficult. And now you're complaining because the downloadable content of the game that not even a year ago, a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, Elden Ring's the easiest out of all.
Yes, thank you. I was just going to make it up too. Thank you.
Like, you sit there and complain about it's the easiest, so then the developers hear you and like, oh, okay, they think it's the easiest. Well, I guess they just want more challenges. And they give us more challenges. Like, it's too hard. Like, pick a lane, guys. Like,
literally.
What kind of ADHD, HHDD, VVBVD bullshit are we on right now? Like, what the fuck? Like, I get it. As a parent, you want to just sit back and relax. Then here's my problem with you as the parent. You are already making a very illogical decision of playing Elden Ring when your excuse for wanting to have a good time is just sit down and play video games and you have kids. That's already an impossibility. You're playing Elden Ring while you're playing life in impossible mode. Why are you making it worse for yourself? Why are you adding more stress on yourself? You can't even enjoy your pastime just because you decided to turn on the damn game. Like, in all honesty, if you have kids, I mean, PEDO will be hard for you. I mean, like, literally any game can be difficult for you because you're unable to really fully pay attention to a game while you have kids, especially if they're young and they're running around. You have to deal with making sure you know that they eat. Are they not sticking the fork into the toaster again? Like, you have to worry about a lot of this shit. Like, if the kids are the problem, then turn off the fucking game. What are you doing, you dweeb? Like, hey, child, handle that first. Like, if it's really that much of a fucking detriment, then what the fuck? Throw the kid in the cage or something.
LOL.
Like, you really shouldn't even be complaining, like, oh, well, I can't play the game because I have kids. Then don't play the fucking game, you fucking tard.
And you
like,
know,
what kind of a dumbass decision have you made from saying, oh, but if the game had a pause button, look, don't get me wrong.
Oh, that bullshit.
A pause button feature is fun. Not every game needs a fucking pause
Thank
feature.
you.
Like, I love the idea that I'm able to jump on Elden Ring and be fully immersed into the game because it requires my 100% concentration.
See, and going back,
that to me is very immersive and
yes,
fun, and I'm actually able to deal with that. Like people, like, you're not fully immersed if you have kids in the first place, yet you're playing Elden.
Thank you. And you know, the other thing about that other game, I love games that don't have pause because that's an immersive thing, right? Like, the game doesn't give a shit about you. And I believe that game that I mentioned earlier, it doesn't have pause, and people were bitching about that. It's like, dude, the whole point is literally like survival. Like, that's what makes games like Tarkov so good too. Pause? What pause? Like, homie. you're in it. Like when you sat down to do this thing, whether parent or not, you sat down. Okay, this is an hour or something. I know I can be uninterrupted. And if you don't have that, then don't play. And dude, I love Mar. He's speaking. Look, I said I'm not even a parent. The reason I agree with this so much is anyone who knows me. I've been watching kids for like near my entire life to a degree. And what he says is so fucking true. Like I said, even right now, like I was like, oh, speak of the devil, let me go check on the child. Like you guys hear me, you guys even in my podcast, you guys hear him in the background, and I still keep an eye on that little shit. I'm not, and even right now, like you're just not as focused. And guess what? So what's your? I mean, okay, I'm greatest gamer. Fair enough. I can't say shit. He's like, oh, but we're not you. Fair point. You can. But to me, what's even dumber is like it's the same people. Someone said like it's asinine because it's the same people who say, "Oh, we need to look out for disabilities," when in reality they just want to cope with the fact that they suck. That's really, again, it's always an ego thing, and that's why it's these Westerners. They have such an ego. They can't just admit that they suck.
Look, I appreciate a game that does cater to people with disabilities because that means they want the widest variety of people to play their game. But
a game being hard's not it.
You'd be surprised how small of a percentage that is compared to literally the general audience that hear about the game, know what the game is, and still decide to go out of their way to pay for the game and play it. Like, they know what the fuck they're getting into. They didn't, oh, Elden Ring? Oh, what? Oh, man, yeah, I heard of that thing. It's the first person My Little Pony simulator? Yeah, it's definitely the game I went out to go buy. But yeah, it's so good.
And you know what's funny? Why I think for sure the whole debate, like two flexes of all the debate of accessibility and parents being is a disability. Okay, then why did a dude actually, a Street Fighter and a Tekken player, full-time dads, celebrated winning, and they had their little baby with them, and they were celebrating because they're like, oh yeah, I don't have as much time, like, because and the thing is, I want to say is that it is doable. Like, it's not impossible, and it's mega hard, and that's why it's respectable. If anything, it makes it more respectable to have a hard game, and you're a parent. Like, even I say, like, yo, respect on that shit, right? Imagine playing Tekken and Street Fighter and making top 8 alone, not even winning, but then they won, you know, and they got the little baby there with them, you know, and shit. Like that's just more respect. And then on top of that, one of the best fighting game players of all time, Broly Legs, played with his fucking mouth. Oh, a dude who beat Elden Ring had no hands, beat it with his feet. So to me, like it is asinine when they always bring up disability, because in reality, again, it's always because you suck. You are literally making excuses.
I need more of a handicap in order to justify my way of playing the game.
Right, and it actually is, and it's an insult to the actual people who put in the fucking effort to be good. Like, in all honesty. By the way, Broly Legs died, if I'm not mistaken, right? Recently.
Yeah, he did pass away about 2 months ago now.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Broly Legs, man. You real one, man. But like here, my final thoughts, because I'm about to get in the house right now. Like, huge shout outs to the gaming community that don't go out and bitch and complain about a really hard game being really hard. You know, and I 100% condemn all the people who want to sit there and complain because one, there's no pause feature, and two, they can't play the game because it's hard. If the game's too hard, play another game. Stop wanting the hard game to be good for you. That's an issue. We don't need that.
Oh, fuck off. You know what part of it I think it is too is that everyone wants to be part of the fad, the next big thing. You know, the whole FOMO. I think it could be a factor. Like, oh, everybody else beat this game. Oh, everyone played this game, so I have to do it too.
You know, one thing, I did not know that Broly died like 2 months ago. I didn't hear about that. That really sucks. Yeah. I also had a lot to say about Elden Ring, but then Greatest over here had to go behind me, press R1 to critical stab, and take everything I was gonna say.
I mean, you still got more, but yeah, Mario, you're heading out, right? Just so
no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Fair enough. I don't want to hold
but,
you too much.
You know, as a person who actually has a dick bigger than 1 centimeter, let me tell you this: if you want an easier game, get a PC, buy the game, put on mods. Yeah. It'll make the game easier for you. And you know what? Even the people who installed the easiest mod for Elden Ring, they still wanted it to be easier.
That's cringe. What the fuck?
This is a whole video thing about how people were bitching about that.
That's crazy.
And that shit made me so fucking mad. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna beat the DLC that's too hard. New game plus that. Do it again. And then again.
Why did I came back and I heard you talking about your doing 1 centimeter bigger?
I don't know. And the thing is, the problem is because I feel Elden Ring is the Guilty Gear Strive of fucking Souls games, where it's primarily not Elden, like you know what I'm saying. So that's why they're complaining about it being hard. You know. Also, did Mara already head off, right? I hope so. Okay, cool. I figured. 'Cause, my Discord is ass.
No, that's why you asked.
I'll be back.
It's cool.
Or good.
Get fucked.
That's how we solve problems.
I had no idea Broly died. How did he die?
I think he like heart failure or some bullshit. Wait, did you hear about the commentator who was he was also a HoloLive VTuber that he died from a heart attack? You heard about that, right?
Which commentator?
Like he was the only commentator for like FGC wise, and he was in HoloLive. He was like a VTuber. You didn't hear about him?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, he actually like he got like something placed in Evo Japan for the HoloLive fighting game, and he literally died right after, dude.
How did I not know that?
Great. Yeah, no, dude, it was pretty big news next to Broly Legs too.
How did I miss those two? Oh my god.
Yeah, and Daigo talked about it, bro. Saint Cola talked about it. Everyone's like, oh shit. Like, and what's sad about him is he was perfectly clearly in. No, dude, I'm not gonna lie, that one hit me the most. Like that one really hit me.
How did that dude die? Natural causes?
Like, yeah, pretty much, but like, and even someone put a suggestion in the comments, and like, basically, I think he was insufficient in certain vitamins, and apparently it can't happen. And there's like some supplements you can take to help with that. That's what the guess is of what could have prevented his cause. It was just literally heart failure, and it was 100% preventable because he didn't have like a bad.
That kind of reminds me of like two voice actors, one in Japan and one in America, like Lance Reddick dying of natural causes, and the Japanese voice actor, she also died of natural causes. It was actually just falling down a flight of stairs.
I don't know if that's natural causes, but we'll take it. No, but you know what makes it so sad is that dude had, like, I followed him, dude. I love watching his streams. How did I die?
What's his name?
Like vaguely, I know it's super weird. I watched him all the time and I barely know his name. Tanaki, I believe. I could be wrong. Oh my god, dude, I don't want to play anymore because there's 2 times I sent my Titan and I can't even get to him. That shit pisses me off. Like, I don't even want to bother anymore. That's how much that annoys me. Because the AI for that shit sucks dick. Yeah, but yeah, no, dude, that one actually hit me because, like, dude, he was, and the thing is, you know, I can see why, because even I have, like, mini heart attacks in a sense, right? And it's just from not being fully healthy, you know? Like, but I muscled through it, part of it because my good stamina, and the thing is, oh, was it Nanashi? I think it was Nanashi. Yeah, there we go, Nanashi. But, like, he was so like, he looked fine. To me, it's sad when you had your whole life ahead of you. You know, that's when it's super fucking tragic, like Bruce Lee and him, like, nothing is worse than dying young and you have a whole life ahead of you. That's when it's absolutely tragic, you know? Like, genuinely gone too soon. Like, all the other dudes, like, Broly Legs and all that, like, okay, you look at them and go, they're at death's doorstep, and you know, it's like, it is sad, but, like, you expect it, right? You're like, yeah, fair enough, right? No, again, rest in peace, Broly. But when it's someone that you just look like, bro, you look like you have 100 years in you, and then you just die tomorrow. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, imagine, bro, he placed in top 8 for Idol Shutdown. Oh, I'm gonna do stuff with the VTubers, I'm teaching Corona, and then you just die. Like, what the fuck, dude?
That is fucked.
You know, and again, it was, I think, he in his hotel bed or some bullshit. So they said that he probably died in his sleep too, which is just like, fuck. I think, I could be wrong. Or maybe they were saying that he probably was about to sleep or he woke up having that shit. Like, it just, to me, it sucks because it was so preventable, bro. And even someone, like I said, someone in the comments made a simple chat, like, oh, just take these specific nutrients, man. If you feel like your heart's being a bit funny, easily 100% prevent it. So homie was just literally lacking some critical shit. If there's anything else as far as podcast, Vibecast stuff, whatever, or should I end it here? Honorable, you got anything? It was mainly to end up the thoughts about Gears. Mainly, but...
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, because again, you see me, I was ranting off and shit. I'm gonna use some of this shit later.
I mean, I only have small news, but they're just like, they'll pass kind of news.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, Vile said he'd be back, right?
I don't know if he did.